Apple Watch on us with 1 month free service. You heard that right. At NextTech Wireless, you can get an Apple Watch on us with a month of free cellular service when you buy a new iPhone. Right, come visit us at a location near you or call or text at 877-621-2600 for more information. NextTech Wireless. We are Kansas.
And the kicker's name
Lauren
is,
Doak here to tell you about the Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School. We have everything your student needs to graduate high school completely online. Learn from Kansas State certified teachers who have experience in online learning and virtual classroom management. We also offer high school test prep, college and career readiness, credit recovery, and more. Be anywhere, learn everywhere with Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School.
Central Gas Service is your locally family-owned and operated propane company that has the knowledge and experience when it comes to propane. We offer flexible payment options, competitive pricing, and 24/7 service. Join the Central Gas family today by visiting propaneks.com. Proud supporter of local high school athletics.
Erickson Custom Building has a great plan and a budget suited for your needs. Whether it's a new build, a remodel of a kitchen, interior, exterior, or an insurance restoration project, Erickson Custom Building provides quality craftsmanship and superior customer service. We stand behind our work and have lasting relationships with vendors, suppliers, and most importantly, with you, the customer. Erickson Custom Building, proud to support all high school activities. Call 620-585-2816. Or visit EricksonCustomBLDG.com.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome Smoky Valley football fans. This is Don Binks along with Doug Snyder. We're live at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College. Where tonight, the Smoky Valley Vikings take on the Cheney Cardinals. And the Vikings looking for some redemption after getting kind of manhandled last week at Andale.
Yeah, I didn't get to join you for that one, but I heard it was a doozy. And you know, in talking to the players this week, it wasn't really like they just went out and scored every other minute against us. It was very methodical. It was exactly what you and I talked about the week before, is that they were just a quality team. They go out, they do what they want to do, and they did that to the tune of 372 yards compared to 161 for the Vikings last week. Carson Field throws his first 2 picks of the season last week as well. I think he only completed 1 pass last week. And so it was just one of those things where, again, we knew going in that we had played better 2 weeks ago, and we wanted to use some of that to go into last week. Unfortunately, Andale was the buzzsaw we expected them to be, and now our guys get a chance to turn their attention to a team in Cheney who's really been storming on since they lost their home or their opener this year to Kingman, and they've won 3 in a row now and are playing pretty good football.
Yeah, they like to throw the ball a lot, so our secondary is going to have to be ready, and it's a little breezy out tonight, so you know they're going to want to throw the ball with the wind. But although they did throw a lot, they did throw some picks last week too.
Yeah, they did, and again, one of the things that the guys talked about this week is a lot of belief in our corners. Our corners have really been strong this year, both our corners and our safeties. Our secondary has been a solid place to be, and they're going to be tested tonight. Also, those guys up front are going to have to find a way to get to the quarterback to try to rush him a little bit and not allow the ball to get to the edge to the speedsters, because we know that strength and that core of our defense are our big guys, the Justin Holtz, the Tristan Stambaugh, the guys that we need to get in there and find a way to get to the quarterback so we don't put so much pressure on our defensive backfield.
Yeah, they have to play good, and the whole unit has to play good, and special teams too. We got to make sure we get the ball, flip the field once in a while if we get a chance, and the kickoffs and recover everything. So yeah, it's going to take all 3 phases of the game to be
turnovers.
Got to have some turnovers and
control the ball ourselves. Again, Viking football is that running time off the clock. The more you can take time off the clock and you can extend drives, you keep a volatile offense like Cheney off the field.
Yeah, no question about that. So it's the Vikings and the Cheney Cardinals. We'll have more pregame, the starting lineups, and some more thoughts on the game. When we come back, you're listening to Smoky Valley Football.
More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Stay tuned as we sit down for a pregame chat with head coach Tim Lambert. Midway Motors, for every mile of life. Mix 96.7. The Smoky Valley Vikings play here.
We're here to keep you rolling. Rods, Rod's Tire and Service.
Shortages and supply chain issues have affected the tire business greatly. Rod here from Rod's Tire and Service in Hillsboro. We've spent time building up our inventory, so we probably have something for you, and we'll work hard to make sure if you come see us at Rod.
All right, this is At the Net Week 3 with Senior Aspen and Junior Hope. So, Aspen, what do you do outside of volleyball to bond with the team?
We sometimes go out to go eat something.
A lot of times we watch film together.
All right. What made you want to play volleyball?
Watching my cousin growing up.
I just kind of got into it like playing rec when I was little and just fell in love with it.
Aspen, who is your top influencer for volleyball and why?
Definitely my cousin because I don't know, she's my idol.
What about you?
The Texas libero Zoe Fleck is one of my biggest idols.
All right, what are your team goals and what are your own goals?
A team goal is probably better to trust someone, and then my own goal is probably to communicate with hitters better.
Team goal is to make it to state, and one of my own goals is to reach 1,000 kills and digs.
So take us through the scouting report a little bit. Cheney comes in 3-1, but what do you look to slow down or stop here defensively tonight?
Well, Cheney has they're balanced. They run the ball, they throw the ball. They got good quarterback. So I think the key will be, just trying to keep the receivers in front of us when they do make a completion, to make sure that we tackle them and make them snap it again, and try to eliminate the big play as best we can, and just slow them down. And if they're going to score, make them drive. Maybe we can get a couple of turnovers and win the turnover battle, and then we'll see what happens. We need to be able to move the ball offensively and score some points and keep the ball away from them.
Mm-hmm. And we know it's going to be a physical game on the ground. Talk about those guys up front, staying disciplined and continuing to push the pile forward.
Well, our offensive line, kind of lost a little confidence last week and just kind of had a hard time with Andale's speed and strength. But we feel like we're still pretty good offensive line, and we have some potential there. And hopefully we can put last week behind us and just get after it and see how things go.
Definitely. Coach, back at home tonight, another great atmosphere. Any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, thank you, Grant.
Yep, Smoky Valley head football coach Tim Lambert, as always, thanks for catching up with us before the game, and we wish you the best of luck here tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Gabe at Midway Motors, inviting you in for our fall tire event. Right now, Midway is selling all tires at $1 over cost. That's right, $1 over cost. Check out this great special and schedule today at midwaymotors.com.
Hi, this is James with IdeaTech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Central Kansas, including all the schools that we serve. Living rural shouldn't mean you have to live with less. At IdeaTech, our goal is to bring you a fast, secure network with unlimited data right to the neck of the prairie, with the freedom to use it any way you need it. If you're not already a customer, go to ideatech.com and click on Check Availability, or call 620-543-5000 to inquire about our services.
Welcome back to Friday Night High School Football on 96.7 KMPK. Grant Barrett with Ad Astra Radio, joined alongside Cheney Cardinals head football coach Shelby Wehrman. Coach, you entered tonight with a 3-game winning streak last week, defeating Pratt, but what have you seen out of your team since the Week 1 loss to Kingman?
Well, they've had a pretty good desire to get better every day, and nobody was happy about that Kingman loss. So I think they resolved to, do what they could, and that was, from weight room to, spending more time film study, and it's just, the kids, they're good kids, and they want to win, and they want to do their best. So, that was the most important aspect, and they weren't too discouraged. We knew we were young, and we just needed more time to learn. So that Kingman team was a really good team, and we thought we competed well with them. And so, in that regard, it was encouraging. So I think the kids kind of saw the potential, and they bought in.
You mentioned a young team a little bit, only 4 returning starters from last season. Talk about those 4 leaders and some of the other guys that have been contributors to your success.
Yeah, Hudson Ditchin and Carson Middleton and Levi Rust. They're returning, and they're the seniors this year, and so they've been good leaders for us. And then Jack Both is a junior this year, and he's the other returner. So he started as a sophomore. And Hudson and Carson, they've worked hard, and so has Levi. They've all worked hard in the off season. And Jack, he's just a workhorse all the way around. I don't know if the guy knows how to go and give anything less than 100%. So they've really set the tone for the work ethic and type of attack that we want to get out after practice, and so many other kids that do contribute. I feel like this year, more than any other year, we're a team that there's not much drop-off from the starters to the backups. And I've told the kids that several times, and so we're getting a lot of kids in the games, and I feel like it helps our level of play. We're able to put more out during the game. Keeps them from trying to rest during play or something. They can be going 100%.
Yep, that depth is incredible to have. Take us through practice a little bit. What adjustments, if any, have you made since last week, and how have you prepared for Smoky Valley this week?
Well, Smoky Valley and Pratt are very similar in the fact that they like to run the ball. Both teams are really heavy run teams, and so our approach hasn't been too much different. It's just kind of getting used to the plays that Smoky Valley runs, but we've really been preaching to the kids, we got to win the line of scrimmage. It all starts up front on the defense, and I'm a defensive coach, and so it doesn't matter how many points you put on the board. If you can't stop offense, then you're probably going to lose the game. And so we focus a lot on the defense, and the kids have gotten excited about trying to stop what a team does best, and so we're going to try to stop the run.
Well, we look forward to a great matchup tonight, Coach. Before we let you go, you guys went 10-1 last season. You got the pieces, as you mentioned, to make another deep run. What do you look to improve on here moving forward?
Well, we have to be able to execute at a high level every time, and we had glimpses of that against Pratt. We played an excellent first half. In all but probably the last 2 to 3 minutes of that first half, I don't know if we could have done a whole lot better. There were a few things here and there, but the second half we came out and it seemed like we were maybe a little more complacent, lackadaisical, didn't get off the ball as hard, and the Pratt really kept the game even from that point on. So we have to learn how to play all out for an entire game and keep that same high degree of focus and intensity level of play.
Coach, we appreciate your time catching up with us before the game. Any final thoughts before we let you go?
I appreciate you calling and for what you guys do to promote high school football. It's great for the kids.
Definitely. You guys have been fun to watch. Cheney Cardinals head football coach Shelby Wehrman, thanks again, and we wish you the best of luck.
Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for your orthopedic needs. Now seeing physical therapy patients at Sterling College, as well as our location in Hutchinson, enhancing the quality of your life and helping you return to the activities you love. Visit Summit online at summitks.com or call 620-665-7766 to make your consultation appointment. Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for exceptional health care.
Alan Samuels of Hutch has teamed up with
Allstate Dina Brislin Agency and Trinity Catholic Junior Senior High School
for Pink Digs for the Cure, a benefit for Cancer Council of Reno County.
Get your t-shirt at any Trinity volleyball home game or at Alan Samuels on the giant corner of 30th and the Rain. Wear it to the games on October 3rd and 4th when we present the total money raised to the Cancer Council. Help us dig for the cure. And as Mr. Samuels always says,
come by, let's be friends.
The Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues after this. Find exclusive stories highlighting Viking.
Snyder. We got Mitchell Bruce working the controls for us tonight back at the station at Mix 96.7. And we're ready for some good football tonight. Always nice to see the color guard as part of the rider group here at the American Legion, and they always do a nice job of presenting the colors, Doug.
Yeah, they did, and what an honor to have them here tonight to join us and all of the service that so many of them have been involved in. Again, just an honor to have them out here. And we got another great night for football again. It's a beautiful evening here. It's starting to cool off a little bit into the 70s, and it's been a great season so far for nights of football.
It has been, and the Vikings are averaging about 270 yards a night on the ground, and 75 yards from Blanchett, 88 yards from Justice Autry, and 69 from Tristan Stambaugh. We got a quality running game.
We really do, and there's so many weapons. Justice and Tristan couldn't quite get going as much last week, but it looked like Cade had a decent running game last week. And so, again, those guys are just able to mix and match so well with so many of the things that they do. They can just, when one guy has an off night, another guy has a good night. Like I said, Cade Blanchett, 107 yards rushing last week, and they're just all so close together, but it provides so many weapons. But again, Cheney has some of those similar weapons as well with their speed and their intensity.
No question about that. I want to shift so we don't forget. Congratulations on the school getting to host a sub-state for volleyball. So you got a sub-state in your hip pocket, and you're going to be ready to compete here in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, it just puts more pressure on the coaching staff to get the job done. But we are excited about having sub-state here at home. That'll be on the 22nd, I think, 22nd. So, and again, the girls 18-6 right now have had a really stellar season. Just got to make sure we're ready to go when the time comes.
Yeah, we got to watch out for these Cheney Cardinals because they soar high. They like to throw the ball a lot, and they've got some weapons out there.
Yeah, they really do. And again, like I said, that's the speed they've got, and they're a young team like we heard Coach talk about here in the preview. But again, he's pleased with the guys that he has coming back. He's pleased with the guys that are coming in, and really excited about what this team brings to the table. And they're obviously on a 3-game win streak as well.
Yeah, they beat Garden Plain 37-7, Douglas 55-7, and then they beat Pratt, who will play next week. They beat them 43-21. So we're going to have our hands full tonight. We were averaging 40 points a game before last week, and then we got held to 8. So we know that part of that had to do with Andale, but we're certainly looking to get the ship going again.
Yeah, and again, same for them. They started out the season with that 14-point game, and then they've had some outbursts after that. So it's going to be time tonight for that Viking offense to try to shine like they did earlier.
And speaking of offense, what is our Viking offensive starters tonight? I'll watch the coin flip.
Viking offensive starters for tonight up front in the line. We've got Austin Sharp at center, 5'10", 185-pound senior, number 52. At right guard, Alex Grosland, number 50, 6'2", 225-pound senior. Right tackle, number 51, Richard Zeller, 6'2", 210-pound senior. Justin Holt moves over to left guard. He is 6'1", 235-pound senior, number 77. And Gus Griffith at left tackle, number 76. 6'4", 280-pound senior. Our wideouts at tight end, we've got Vincent Pickering, 6'1", 200-pound senior. Slot back, Cade Blanchett, 6'4", 180-pound senior. Number 11, Vincent. Number 7, Braxton House. Number 4, as a wide receiver, 6'1", 185-pound senior. And in our backfield, Carson Peel anchors that as quarterback, 6 foot, 170-pound senior. Number 9, at fullback, Tristan Stambaugh, the hammer, 6'3", 225-pound senior. And at tailback, number 22, Justice Autry, the 5'7", 130-pound senior. I'm going to talk about their offense tonight as well because they have such a volatile offense. Their line across the front, left tackle, Ty Thomas. I think that's how you pronounce it, either Ty or, I think that's right. 6 foot, 223-pound junior, number 60. Number 56, left guard, Jack Gregory, 5'9", 194-pound junior. At center, Levi Russ, number 72, 6'2", 358-pound senior. Number 55 at right guard, Colton Rolhoff, 5'10", 236-pound sophomore. Number 66, right tackle, Garen Campbell, 6'3", 274-pound sophomore. Their tight end, Kaysen Messenger, he is a 6'2", 210-pound junior. And they predominantly go with a 3-wide receiver look. Number 18, Carson Middleton, 6'2", 177-pound senior. Holden Murray, number 12, 6 foot, 155-pound senior. Jackson Voth, 5'11", 182-pound junior, number 1. And in their backfield, Josh Burdick, their quarterback, number 13, 6 foot, 173-pound sophomore, and Caleb Wehrman, 6'3", 182-pound senior. He is number 3. So we expect a lot out of these offenses tonight. Could be a knockdown, drag-out, really high-scoring game. We'll just have to wait and see.
Cheney won the toss and elected to defer, so we're going to have the ball first. This uniform sponsor is McPherson Laundry. Just like tonight's team, McPherson Laundry can help you look like a winner. Expert dry cleaning and professional shirt service. McPherson Laundry in McPherson is where you take your clothes. The Vikings are in their all black uniforms, white helmets, white numerals, and Vikings across the front, and the Cheney Cardinals are in their all white uniforms with red lettering and red numerals in there, and they have a little blue trim on the top of their shoulders, and they have white helmets, so it's very distinctive opposites tonight.
And easy numbers to read tonight. I'm feeling good over here. I'm liking this tonight. It's a good night for me to return. I assume Andale's numbers were probably pretty easy to see.
Yeah, they were too. Deep for the Vikings is Nolan Dower, number 3, and the Meerkat Justice Autry at number 22, both standing about the 10-yard line. The kicker is going to be number 63. I had a different number warming up. It looked like number 24, Alan Banderas, was doing most of the kicking and kicking a lot better, but 63 is the guy that's going to put it on the tee, and we're ready to go. Sit back and enjoy tonight's game. Hoping for a Viking victory. We're on live on SmokyValley.org. You can watch and listen. Approach to the ball. It's going to look like it might go out of bounds. No, it's going to hang in there. Nolan's going to pick it up about the 10, right up to sideline 15, tries to get outside and get taken out of bounds just shy of the 20-yard line. And that's where the Vikings will take off 1st and 10. That had kind of a funny bounce because it looked like it was going to go out of bounds.
I know you play in the weekly league here. I'm sure your chip shots land that exact same way. So, but yeah, that ball, it really did have a little spin to it. It kind of turned right back into the field of play. Nolan made a good decision to pick it up and picked up some yards to boot.
They got some size up front with Messenger, Hall, Roloff, and Wehrman. Their defensive front 4. They play a 4-3 basically, so we'll see what the Vikings can do. Looks like they're going to come out in the wishbone formation, double tight with Carson Peel under center.
And they really bring those backers up a little bit too.
Long play count, turn and hand it off to Blanchett on that left side. He's going to spin a little bit, get across the 20, get a pickup of about 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Blanchett moving off that left side a little bit, but in there quick. 2 of the Cheney Cardinals right there on top of it. Number 1 was in there as well, Jackson Voth, able to make a play. And one of the linemen was in there as well. But again, a short gain, but again, a gain. So they start the game out moving forward.
Got to move forward on that for 2nd down and 8. Just underway here and a beautiful night for football. Come out and enjoy. The Vikings got a real nice shrimp boil out there tonight by the music department. I formation this time behind Carson Peel, who's under center again. Turns and hands it off to the big guy right up the middle, churning, and he's going to get stopped short. Another short gain on the play. It'll be about a yard. So Vikings are going to be looking at 3rd and 7.
Really submarine in there that time because it's not often you take down Tristan Stanbaugh for a 1 or 2 yard gain, but he was really taking out the legs. I think he was extremely frustrated that he wasn't able to get a little bit further there because I think he thought he had a crease, but at the same time, like I said, went after the legs and he couldn't keep himself moving.
Well, you know they watched the film of Andale, and that's what Andale did. They went low and then they just lifted everybody up, so their strength was showing last night. What the Vikings do here on 3rd and 7. I formation again. They're shifting their defensive lineman up a little bit. Carson's going to roll out to the far side. He's under pressure. He's going to flip it and then caught by Pickering, and it's going to be at the 1st down yardage. Good quick throw by Carson. He was under pressure, and a great catch by Vincent Pickering.
Yeah, Carson rolls against his body. He had pressure immediately. I think that was from Jackson Voth again, but he hits Pickering on a dime right there. It was a beautiful look because he had to throw it up and over the defender and drop it in there. He caught the ball about a yard or 2 short of the 1st down, but was able to get some yards after catch and take it to the 1st down marker, and the Vikings move ahead.
So Vikings get that first down on this drive. Wishbone formation again behind Carson. Under center he goes. Here comes the big guy running up the middle. No, it's the Meerkat trying to get outside, and he's got some running room, and he's going to get taken down about the 40-yard line. Here comes a flag from way out. I believe it's going to be a horse collar. because he had a hold of his back. And he'll probably tack on. He got first down yardage on the run. Personal foul, host Cardinals is what it is.
Yeah, that's a big call. I mean, he was following him closely there, and the official on the sideline did not make that call. It was actually official in the field of play there that made the call, but I think he had the better angle to witness that he had him up around the shoulder blade and was able to pull him down from inside those shoulder pads. So again, a big first mistake here by Cheney, and we mentioned limiting mistakes, so it picked up yardage and the 15 yards there for the horse collar as well.
All the way across midfield to the 44-yard line of Cheney. So big play on the run, and then plus a 15-yard penalty. Vikings are in business here just 2 minutes into the first quarter. Bringing the play in is Braxton, or excuse me.
You're right, Braxton.
I keep getting that first name mixed up. Back to wishbone formation for the Vikings. Carson under center with double tight end. Here comes Stambaugh again, rushing up the middle. He's going to get 2, maybe 3 yards. We'll see where they stop forward progress. It looks like it's going to be a 2-yard gain to the 42. It'll be second down and 8.
Number of guys in there, Ditchen, Rollhoff, and also Voth again. He's in a lot of plays from his middle linebacker spot. Seems to be really flying around trying to find the open gaps. But again, Stambaugh just burrowing his way through there, able to pick up a few yards.
Wide receiver each way for Carson this time as he goes under center with I formation behind him in the backfield on second down and 8. Carson's going to keep it himself, and this time he gets all tackled quickly by number 3 coming in from his linebacker spot. That would have been a good choice to give that one to Stambaugh that time, but you don't know, and he just got tackled for no gain on the play.
Yeah, I don't know that Stambaugh got much further because there was immediate contact on him as well as he took the dive or faked the dive going up the middle. Werman comes from his left defensive end position, got right around the edge and just continued to pursue Peel. So again, either play, we probably would have gained a yard or so with Stambaugh, but here I think we lost a yard with Peel trying to get around the edge.
Flanker and wide receiver to the far side. I formation behind Carson on 3rd and 9. Carson in trouble. He's got pressure coming again. He's got to throw it down deep, and he's going deep to intercepted. Intercepted by the defender right there. The intended receiver was Ethan Abel, I believe, on the coverage, and it got tipped. And coming up with the ball, I believe, was number 5 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Ethan Abel, of course, coming back from a little procedure a few weeks ago, makes a quick return back here to play. But again, tossed that ball up there. Again, Peel was under duress, had people all over him. Ethan went up, had a chance to pull it down along the far side. The ball tipped right off of his hands and very alertly intercepted on that back side over there. Beautiful interception by number 18? Yeah, Carson Middleton.
Okay. So here comes Cheney with their passing attack. Their quarterback goes in that pistol formation. Oh, he's going to go under center this time. Wide receiver each way, I formation behind him. Toss to the near side, trying to get outside is Wehrman, but good play by Blanchett as he comes up and meets him in the backfield. Loss on the play of about a yard, and it's going to be second down and long for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Cade Blanchett looked like he was shot out of a cannon there coming up from his safety position. He was back in the backfield hunting down Wehrman right away there, and he ends up pulling him down for a loss, but beautiful job coming across that near side. He was already hunkered up there a little bit anyway, but no contact, no block, makes the play.
Yeah, 2 receivers each way now for the Cardinals on this time. They will be in that more like a shotgun formation for the quarterback. Going to throw a quick pass out into the flat, caught by Voth. He's going to get tackled by, first guy is Dower, and then finishing him off is Mr. Sharp. And it gets back to the original line of scrimmage, gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and Voth is one of those guys we think could be a potential target today. A lot of speed, a lot of quickness. They try to find ways to get him out on the edge, but a beautiful job over there by the corner. I think that was Nolan Dower over there getting low, sizing him up. Got a little bit of help from Austin Sharp up top to be able to finish that play off.
3 receivers near side, 1 to the far side on 3rd and long for the Cheney Cardinal. Dropping back to pass, still looking at a little slip screen inside. It's going to be caught. He goes down and catches it for a gain of maybe a yard on the play. It's going to be 4th and 9, and Cheney's going to be a 3 and out on the first series.
Yeah,
good Viking defense.
In pro football, he can pick that back up and take off. And, again, his feet just looked like they completely came out from underneath him.
It was a little low on the pass.
Was a little low, but it still looked like he just kind of got tripped up. I thought maybe he could still get a hold of it down there, but again, he made a nice play to make the catch, just didn't amount to much.
Carson is going to go back deep to return the punt. The punter will be standing on the 4-yard line to receive the snap. It's a low one. He goes down to get it, and it's a twisting Carson tips it. He's going to have to go back and get it, and does. And man, somebody comes flipping right over the top of him, but Carson did the right thing to try to slow it down because that looked like it was going to take about a 40-yard balance. He slowed it down and went back and got it, and the Vikings are going to take over 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
I think that was a 54-yard punt.
Well, he got it spinning end over end, and it really took
kicked it from the 17, dropped it down at the 27. So nice punt there on behalf of Cheney. And again, we talk about swinging the field, reversing the field. It looked like we were going to have some great field position, but instead ends up being back about where we started our first drive.
I formation this time behind Carson. Blanchett is the flanker on the near side. Turn and hand it off to Stambaugh, rushing your way through, and he gets the seam. This time gets across the 30 up to about the 32 or 33. It'll be almost a 5-yard gain for Tristan Stambaugh on 1st down. Nice, strong run.
More of what Tristan's used to. Got some nice hats on hats up front from that line. He was able to find a little bit of a crease and guide up in there and get a nice, strong gain there.
2nd down and 5 now for the Vikings in their second possession now. Each team, Vikings moved the ball a little bit and then got the interception, which really turned out to be like a punt. Now Cheney got a long punt and put the Vikings back in normal position now, 2nd down and 5. I formation again behind Carson. Turns and hands it off. No, he's going to keep it himself, try that left side. He's near 1st down yardage, but he's going to get wrapped up. It looked like that might have been a face mask because his head went sliding backwards. I didn't see any flag come in, but what looked like might be a bigger gain got cut off, and he's going to be 3rd and about 3 for the Vikings.
Yeah, I think Caleb Wehrman just got him right around the waist and just wrapped him up. It was almost like a dance move, a little pirouette with him. I think that's why he whipped around so quickly. But again, really impressed by this Wehrman kid on the defensive end here. Nice, solid player, the 6'3", 182-pound senior.
Yeah, he's not big, but he's a little wiry. Here comes the Meerkat trying to get outside. We got a whistle and stoppage of play. Flag from the lineman on the left side. And that one's going to be on the Vikings, I'm afraid. We'll see what happens. They don't usually stop it on an offensive or a defensive penalty. I didn't see any movement in there. Did you see any on the replay? They are going to call a false start on the Vikings, so they're going to back it up. It's going to be, instead of being 3rd and 5, it's going to be 3rd and 8 now for the Vikings back inside the 30-yard line. So somebody moved evidently, and it'll be a first penalty on the Vikings. See what they can do on a 3rd and long here for their first.
Only thing I saw in the highlight is maybe a little bit of a lean from that right side. The other thing was whether or not we lined up across the ball there as well.
Could have been that too. High formation behind Carson. He's rolling to the near side, looking down the field. He goes in the flat to Blanchett, caught across the 40-yard or 35 and 1st down yardage up at the 38-yard line. Carson's been spot on a couple of those flat passes.
Yeah, nice job there. Again, they get him on a little mini rollout there, giving him a chance to find it. You got 2 receivers on levels over here because he had, I believe, House a little bit further up the field on an out pattern as well, and he hits the inside guy, which was Blanchett here, able to make that catch, and he picks up the 1st down.
Wide receiver on the near side and flanker Blanchett on the near side. Turn and hand it off to Stambaugh, busting his way up the middle for about 3 across the 40 up to about the 42-yard line, and the Vikings will be facing 2nd and 7.
Yeah, already down to 4:40 here in this first quarter. Neither team able to score on their first possession. Vikings now in the midst of their second possession, started down around the 26-yard line, 27, and they've been able to move the ball out here slowly and methodically. Again, their first drive was aided by a 15-yard horse collar call that looked like it might put them in a good spot. Unfortunately, the turnover on 3rd and long, and now they've got 2nd and about 7 here on this second drive.
Vikings are rolling a little bit more with I formation. Blanchett in motion. Here comes the Meerkat trying some seam, and he's got some room in the midfield. He's going to have 1st down yardage right at the midfield stripe. Good, strong running by the Meerkat.
Yeah, nice job in between the tackles that time. You usually see him around the outside. This time, right in between the tackles, able to get up the field and make a play and get the yardage needed, but again, gets caught up in there, not able to break free. Again, good quality tackling by the Cheney Cardinals. Once they get a hold of you, they seem to be really strong at making sure they make that tackle, but the Vikings are able to move the ball so far.
Good to get Justin Sharp back in there. He came in, and then Zeke Baker came back in and gave Groslin a little bit of a break. I formation, motion again by Blanchett to the far side. Carson's going to tuck it and run himself. He's going to get forward progress to about the 45-yard line. A little bit short of that. It'll be second down and 7.
Yeah, again, just knocking yards out. I know Coach Lambert would be happy as all get out to get 3 yards in a cloud of dust on every single play here and just continue to take time off the clock. It's so important for them tonight, especially with a volatile offense like Cheney, that they control the time of possession.
Yeah, that was one of Lambert's keys to victory on his pregame interview with Grant Barrett. Back to wishbone formation for the Vikings, double tight end, their signature formation. Carson turns and hands it off to Blanchett, trying that left side, trying to get outside. He's trying to be a foot race, and he wins a little bit, gets across the 45 down to the 44-yard line, where the Vikings will be facing 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Cade that time trying to get to the outside, and one of the strengths of the Cardinals are their speed, and they were able to track him down there. Not a long gain, but he was able to get a little bit of a gain. Also, want to remind you, you can stream tonight's game on your phone with the Ad Astra app, radio app, powered by Nextech Wireless. Shop the latest phones and devices at the best prices. Nextech Wireless, we are Kansas.
I appreciate that, all that going on, and the Vikings here on their second drive getting into Cheney Cardinal territory again, but facing a 3rd and a long 5, short 6 here with 2:22 left to go. I formation behind Carson, turns and hands it off to first guy through is Stanbaugh, and he's just bulldozing his way across the 40 and down to the 35 or 6. Going to be strong run by Tristan Stanbaugh.
And what Tristan's strength is, again, when he can get by that first wave of people, if he can get his steps in and get over a couple of guys, if the line can get a couple of creases created for him, a little seam, he gets up there, gets ahead of steam. It's really tough to stop him, and that's what happened that play. Got a little break, got a little seam, took on about 2 or 3 Cardinals, and continued to push.
They're bringing in a substitute and a couple of big guy come running in, number 73 at 284 pounds to try to block up that middle a little bit. They're going with a 6-man front right now. Here comes the Meerkat trying to spin outside. He gets away from one tackle, gets away from another tackle down to the 30-yard line. Good second and third effort by Autry, and he gets down near the 30-yard line, a pickup of almost 6 yards.
Yeah, you see a little bit of a change-up today, especially with Justice. They're running him a little bit closer to the tackles. They played the one earlier in that first drive where he got to the edge and got the penalty called on Cheney, but for the most part, trying to just create some seams for him to get through and try to get him moving up the field instead of side to side so much.
I formation this time behind Carson Peel. Flanker is Blanchett on the near side. Turn and fake it. Going to roll out for the pass. Looking downfield to Blanchett. He's got it caught near the 25-yard line, near the first down marker. We'll see where it is. It looks like it's going to be just short of the first down. And it's going to be 3rd down, maybe a yard. Maybe 2.
Yeah, 3rd and about 2, and that's the 10th play already on this drive for Smoky Valley. So far, they've had 17 total offensive plays in this game to only 3 for Cheney, and that's a completely different stat compared to last week against Andale.
Wishbone formation on 3rd, and they moved it up a little bit. 3rd and 1 here for the Vikings. Here comes Blanchett trying the right side. He's going to be at the 40-yard line, so he's got first down yardage. A little late hit there, no flag thrown, but number 15 comes in a little late as Blanchett was already down, already had the first down right on the 25-yard line, and it's first down, move the chains once again. Vikings are staying pretty much in front of the chains where they want to be.
Yeah, they're positioning themselves with really solid 2nd and 3rd down setups to where it works well within the offense, and they've already mixed in a couple of nice pass plays. But I tell you, the closing speed of these Cheney Cardinal athletes, it looked like Blanchett had a little bit more space to get up the field, and number 60 just came over there and made a play.
I formation behind Carson, puts Blanchett in motion to the near side. He's going to try the Meerkat. He's got a little bit of a seam, but he gets closed on quickly. When somebody got him low, and number 15 again got him high, that was McDaniel.
And that was Weirman again getting him down low. And like I said, when he gets a hold of somebody, they don't seem to keep going.
No, he gets him stopped. A gain of a little bit over 2 yards. It's going to be second down. We'll call it 8. With now just 20 seconds left to go here before the end of the first quarter. So the Vikings don't have to snap it if they don't want to. Justin Sharp comes out limping just a little bit. They switch their line in there again.
Yeah, it looks like Austin's a little bit dinged up there. So
sorry, I keep calling him Justin. Blanchett goes wide to the far side. I formation behind Carson on second down and long. Here comes Stanbaugh blasting his way up the middle, and he gets met there by Voth again. He had a couple of yards, but he got turned around really quick, just shy of the 20-yard line, and that's where the first quarter will end. No score in the first quarter. We'll be back with quarter number 2 after this. Timeout.
We may be able to see you without a referral. We pride ourselves in one-on-one, goal-oriented therapy to help reduce your pain and get you back doing the things you love. Call Advanced Physical Therapy across Central Kansas. Call them today at 620-662-7067. Burkamp Insurance, the big difference.
Cheney Cardinals are doing battle tomorrow. It's Bethany and Bethel. Football action tomorrow afternoon. Kickoff at 1 o'clock. We'll have that game here for you on 96.7 as well. But good quarter for the Vikings.
Great quarter for the Vikings. They end up running 20 total plays in that quarter. They pick up 79 yards, 19 of that in the air, 60 of it on the ground. Meanwhile, Cheney only runs 3 plays for a total of 2 yards. So if you come into tonight and you realize you hold Cheney to 2 yards in the first quarter, you have to like your chances and what your team's doing.
Now we got to take care of business here inside just outside the red zone. 3rd down and about 6 here for the Vikings. Blanchett comes wide to the near side. I formation behind Carson on 3rd down. Going to turn and drop a little pass, a little seam route to Blanchett, and they just miscommunicated there, man. Carson was expecting Blanchett to do something different. He went down. I don't know if he slipped a little bit, but it's going to be 4th down and 6 now. See what the Vikings are going to try to do.
Yeah, I think they had him on a slant, and I think Carson just missed him that time. You could tell Carson was really frustrated with his pass, but I think they were trying to hit him on a slant. As tall as Cade is, if you get him leaning forward, you know, if you can hit him on a 3 or 4 yard pass on a slant, he can lean for the other 3. And I think that's kind of what they had set up there. But I think here on 4th down, they're in a position where they're going to go ahead and try to go for it. But the clock's running now. They're already down to 7 on the play clock.
Might have to call a timeout. We'll see what they do. Dower and Blanchett wide each way. Carson's going to snap it as a tie. It's a reverse to Blanchett. He's going to try to get outside. He's got room. He's got the 15. He's got the 10. He's got the 5. He's got the touchdown. And the Vikings take a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, confused all of us. We were expecting the man to call that timeout. Clock was running down. Got all the way down to 1. Barely got everybody set for the toss play to Autry going to the far side of the field. Then he flips it over to Blanchett. Got a nice block down the field from Nolan Dower and was able to break 1 tackle and take it home for the score. Vikings get on the board first here with 11:47 left here in this second quarter.
What a play. I have not seen that play all year. What a great time to call that play. Wishbone formation now for the point after attempt. Carson looking around, thought he had somebody jumping offside there, but didn't. Turns and hands it off to the Meerkat, trying it right up the middle, and he is... no signal yet, no good. And our score with 11:47 left to go in the first half. Vikings break on top 6-0. Back after this, timeout.
For over 80 years, Farm Financial Services has served the unique needs of the ag industry. We get to know you and your operation, providing coverage for your farm, ranch, machinery, crops, livestock, and so much more. Find out why we've been the #1 ag insurer for 25 years. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Now we're in person at 620-241-0225.
#1 ag insurer across our territory. 1996 to 2021 SNL PNC Direct Written Premium.
We'll bring a $10 donation from the following club: Touchdown Club, 350 Degrees LLC, American Legion Post 140, Ameriprise Financial Services Inc., Terry McMillan, Financial Advisor, Christian Funeral Home. Kick it off the Vikings with the Cheney
That's where they'll have it first and 10.
Puts out of bounds. The Vikings will reattempt the kick.
They have some opportunities to make big plays like that. But yeah, you're right. 100 yards for the Vikings to 2 for Cheney. Vikings have had the ball for 10 minutes and 16 seconds. Cheney 1 minute and 57 seconds so far.
Unbelievable start here for the Vikings in the first quarter. But you don't win the game
Back kicks to receive for the Cardinals. Number 1, Jackson Both.
It's so good to see them fired up and playing well after a trouncing last week that they took at the hands of Andy.
Yeah, I think they responded well to what happened last week. They knew it was just a hiccup on the schedule. You'd have to play a perfect game to be able to win that.
Schmidt kick again. This one's going to go right down the middle, taking it at the 30-yard line. 35 trying to get up the middle. I don't know who has it. And they're going to take it at the 40-yard line. So about the same difference. They would have got the penalty and got it at the 40-yard line. But that's where Cheney will take it over to the 1st and 10.
This was a more designing way to get to the 40-yard line, so they had to make sure they challenged us on that.
Burdick, their quarterback, we heard so much about, really talking him up like how good a passer he was, and they didn't get much going the first time. We'll see what happens this time. They send 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Shotgun formation for Burdick with the running back beside him in the backfield. Throw it over here in the flat quickly and wrapped up. But he's going to get almost first down yardage, pick up about 9 on the play. Intended receiver, and the receiver was McDaniel.
Yeah, nice play there by Cheney, moving that ball up the field, getting a nice little look there. And again, that's their strength, trying to hit the ball up the field, trying to get those passes. And they set it up here with a beautiful 2nd and 1 as an opportunity.
1:20 just underway in the second quarter here. Vikings with a 6-0 lead. And put kind of a cluster of receivers over there on the far side, tied in on the near side. Now man in motion to the far side. Going to throw it out in the flat to the receiver out there, caught, and going to get first down yardage, but the Vikings are going to be quickly there to stop it at the 46-yard line across midfield, and it's 1st and 10 Cheney.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell there was that number 10 or number 18. Yeah. Number 10 Dibble making that catch. And again, they throw a lot of passes out into the flat. And when throw it out in the flat, sometimes it's a little bit of a backward pass. So if they end up not catching one of those, it's a good possibility that could be a fumble back there as well. So the Vikings are going to have to be alert to that.
It's an empty backfield for the quarterback Burdick. This time 3 receivers far side, 2 to the near side. A little quick pressure coming from Mr. Houghton, and he gets him tackled for a loss in the play. Great job by number 77.
Yeah, back in that pistol look for where they like to do that shotgun snap, and he's already starting 4 or 5 yards back in the backfield. And by the time Holt was able to get through there, he was able to make a big play for a loss. That moves him back about 7 yards. So again, Justin flying back there. Looked like he had him dead to rights, but eventually he moved out of him. Burdick almost escaped, but he gets him by the shoestrings and takes him down.
3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. That empty backfield look again. Burdick's going to quick pass out in the flat, caught. And Blanchard, they're going to come the flag out there. That was definitely a face mask. So they pick up the penalty yardage, and then going to add 15 to that one. Blanchard was just trying to grab, and he got face mask.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a face mask or if we got him inside the shoulder pads. It's kind of an iffy call there because it looked like he was inside the pads when he grabbed him, but just in the inside of the front. But again, nope, they're going to wave that off. That's what I said. It had the appearance maybe that it might have been a face mask or that he might have had a horse collar, but neither one of those is called, and it's going to be, again, it just moves them up to the original line of scrimmage. They're sitting at 3rd and 10 now.
3rd and 10. 2 receivers near side, 3 to the far side. Big 3rd down play. Dibble in motion to the far side, puts 4 receivers out there, passes in the flat, and to both, and he's wrapped up. Oh, he gets away from the tackle of 1, gets away from the tackle of another. He's going to be in open field to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, 5, and 55, and now he's going to get it. Max Beaker, there is going to be a penalty for the block in the back, but it is taken all the way from 45 yards out, but both broke a couple of strong tackles. It looked like we had him right at the line of scrimmage.
So much happened on that play. It was a little pass out in the flat. It looked a lot like Dower might be able to knock it away, or excuse me, Pickering. I was one of those 2 over there. And then House looked like he had the tackle. A couple of Vikings miss as he comes back across the middle, and he gets all the way through. Misses another block there, another couple of tackles, and then just a little bit down the field, Max Beaker got turned around, and it actually ends up being Burdick that's going to get called for the block in the back down there about the 20-yard line. So it is going to move it backwards, and it's going to set them up. Again, no score, but what a run by Voth. We talked about the fact that he was so athletic, and again, he showed it right there.
Yeah, and strong. So block in the back, takes it back to the 28-yard line. It is a first down, so Cheney continues to maintain the ball here. See if the Viking defense can get coordinated again. But that was so close to being, like you said, a lot of different things on that play. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side, split backs beside the quarterback Burdick in the backfield on 1st and 10. Now in motion goes Dibble. Another pass out in the flat to Dibble. He's going to get away from one tackle, get away from another tackle, and then hanging on and tackling with about a 5-yard gain or so is Pickering. But boy, they run through a lot of Viking tackles.
Well, they really do. Again, that's another one of those passes out in the flat that looked like the Vikings had it dead to rights again, and this time they able to break free, get to the edge. It looked like Gustus, I think, and Beaker both had a chance of getting a tackle out on the edge, and he still slipped through, was able to pick up 7 yards. Nice run there by Dibble.
Wide receiver each way. Now there's a little confusion about where they're going. The tight ends coming to the near side, 2 receivers near side. Burdick looking, quick pass again in the flat, wrapped up this time by Blanchett, no gain on the play. Actually, give him maybe a yard. See where they'll give him a little bit of forward progress to the 20-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd and long 1, short 2.
Yeah, Smoky Valley is really biting hard on those quick passes. You expect maybe a little later in the game, we're going to see some double moves or fake something like that, and then try to hit the guy that's going down the seam. But again, right now, they've really committed hard to those little passes in the flat.
2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Pistol formation again for Burdick, looking, still looking down a little slip screen inside, and they misconnect. Intended receiver, number 18 on the play, that is Middleton, and it falls incomplete. It's going to be 4th and short for the Cardinals.
Yeah, again, that penalty looms large right now because it would have been a score from both. Instead, it got moved back, and now you're looking at 4th and about 2.5 to pick up this first down. And again, they've got the athleticism, but I tell you, the Viking front line has been able to get through, and so you can't really just say, hey, let your quarterback go. But one of those things you might see here is some sort of a quarterback draw. You only need about 2 yards. The drawback is he starts 5 yards back in the backfield.
Empty backfield now in motion to the far side. That brings 4 receivers to the far side. Pass outside to the far side. Good for the first down yardage and more. Gets down near the 10. A touchdown saving tackle by one of the Vikings. I can't tell who that is. Maybe Carson Peel. As he just got, that's their go-to. That's their bread and butter. They just love that play out of the backfield.
It's like a running play. I mean, again, he just swings it to whatever back it is. In that case, it was Dibble, but it just swings it out to him with a full head of steam, gives him a chance to get past the edge of the Viking front 4, and then it's just a matter of him competing against whatever linebackers out there and whatever corners out there.
Just inside the 10-yard line, so it's 1st and goal for the Cheney Cardinal. And back in motion on the near side. There's a little flip to him in the front. Well, he's going to have clear sailing into the end zone. Touchdown by number 5, Ditchin. He went in motion to the near side, then went back, and he just a little shovel pass to him. He takes it in from the 10-yard line for the score.
Yeah, Ditchin's not a big kid, 6 foot. He was able to hide behind some of those big linemen, and he just does a nice job. Like you said, he comes across the line in motion and then slips right back to the same side. All the motion of the front line goes to the near side of the field. He goes back to the far side, able to get around and take it in for the score.
PAT kick is up, and it is good. And our score with 7:49 to go in the first half. Cheney 7, Vikings 6. Back after this.
That'll be a pass.
Yeah.
The following fans have been picked for the halftime Booster Club kick.
One of the most important elements of success is knowing when to expand and when to focus on strengthening what you have. At People's Bank and Trust, we've done just that over the years, ensuring much more than we can deliver. And what we deliver is safe, sound, reliable banking that puts you first. Let us put our experience to work for you and your family. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Gabe at Midway Motors, inviting you in for our fall tire event. Right now, Midway is selling all tires at $1 over cost. That's right, $1 over cost. Check out this great special and schedule today at midwaymotors.com.
For the biggest smile, visit Tweetmeyer Family Dentistry in downtown Cheney. Call Tweetmeyer Family Dentistry at 316-547-3171 or stop in at 107 North Main. Good luck, area athletes, from everyone at Tweetmeyer Family Dentistry.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
In the reverse, the Vikings try to get the ball up the field. They're going to get it across the 25. Dower takes it and then gives it off to the Meerkat. He gets quickly wrapped up about the 26-yard line. So that's where the Vikings will have it first and 10. But a 10-play, 60-yard drive for the Cheney Cardinals, and they get the point after kick good. So they take a 1.7-6 lead.
Yeah, and again, Vikings held them to 2 yards prior to that drive. They only had 3 plays prior to that on 2 yards, or 2 yards on 3 plays. But they get 10 plays that time to take it down the field and score. Had a big 4th down and 2 that they were able to pick up on that drive as well.
Wishbone formation here on 1st and 10. Here comes Blanchett trying the left side. He's going to get strung out, and he's going to get one guy submarining him and finished off by both on top. He's going to get no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, coming up out there from his corner position, I believe, was Middleton, if I'm not mistaken. Carson Middleton sized him up once he got to the edge, was able to get low on him. Had some helpers around him, too, but Middleton was able to be the primary one to get in there and make that tackle. And, again, they just strung him out, made him run down and go east and west instead of north and south, and no gain.
Vikings heading north to the field here. We're in the press box on the west side. Here comes a little trap play. No, it's a pass. Carson Peel in trouble in the backfield, and he's going to get sacked in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of about 3 or 4 on the play. Number 8 helmet came off, so he'll have to take a play off Messenger.
Yeah,
that's a lot of pressure going on.
And you mentioned the trap. There was a fake trap coming off the edge, but you're right. There was a ton of pressure back there. Carson really didn't have any time to even look.
No. It was kind of chaos in the backfield. I think if we would have given it off, it might have had a little seam there to run that ball, but they didn't make it happen. 3rd and long for the Vikings now. House goes out wide to the far side. Blanchett wide to the near side. I formation behind Carson on 3rd and long. Turns and looks back down the field. He's going deep down the line for Blanchett. Oh, just out of the hands of Blanchett. Looked like he had his hands on it, but it was kind of a wobbly throw, and it falls incomplete, and the Vikings are going to have to punt this one away on a 3 and out.
Yeah, wobbly throw, but I bet Cade wishes he had that one back. It looked like on his last step or two as he got his hands up, he just had a little bit of a difficult time finding that ball, but I tell you, the defender was stride for stride with him. That pass had to be almost spot on, but again, defender was right there. I think he bothered Cade just a little bit on that catch.
And it was spot on because it was catchable,
yeah.
But
yeah, you mentioned a little wobbly, but at the same time, I mean, when you've got a guy stride for stride with you, everything's got to be just right.
Vikings are going to, they reset the clock. I thought they were going to run out of time there, but they moved the ball, the position of the ball as well, so they had to reset the play clock. So the Vikings have plenty of time. Stanbaugh going back to punt. A couple return guys back across midfield about the 45-yard line. It's a good snap. Punts away. A wobbly punt to the near side. It's going to take a bounce and go out of bounds, so no return on the play, and that Cheney will have it about the 45-yard line. See where they go with the ball. Going to take it back to about the 43-yard line. That's where Cheney will have it. 1st and 10 now, and they're in possession with the lead now, 4-3 or 4-3, 6-7.
I'm impressed if it'd be 4-3. That'd be a heck of a ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, about a 34-yard punt there by Tristan. And again, first time tonight the Vikings have gone 3 and out.
So 1st and 10, Cheney. Number 13, Burdick will be back there in that pistol shotgun formation with a running back beside him. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. They really like to throw the ball. Fake that there comes a deep ball going after the short fake. He's got a man out there, but he's going to overthrow him. Blanchett was stride for stride with both the intended receiver, but that was not anywhere near complete.
No, it wasn't. Again, he got tangled up with him just a little bit there and held him up a little bit, which is exactly what you have to do with both. Anytime you can hold him up just a little bit from getting up the field, your advantage gets a lot better with him because he is so fast.
Quick and strong, just like he looks like he could play for Andale.
Yeah, he does.
They have a lot of that type of player. Cheney, on the other hand, has a little bit taller, more wrangly-looking guys, but they're a good-looking team. Going to go double tight end this time with the flanker, a little bunch of receivers on the far side. Burdick puts a man in motion to that far side again. Boy, here comes that little shovel inside to Voth. He's got some running room across the 50. Good effort by the Vikings. Dower and Gustus in there to stop that one from being a bigger play. I thought that had big play written all over it.
Yeah, that little shovel pass is a nice play for him because it's very deceptive behind the line of scrimmage. You've got to be able to find that guy, and all your momentum is carrying you to one direction. Yeah, they made everybody, they even ran their slot back to the far side of the field just to get that misdirection going and then bring Voth back this way. But good stop by the Vikings, 3rd and short.
3rd and 3. Burdick looking quick. He's got his receiver Dibble, and he's got running room across the 40, 35, and 30-yard line before he's tackled about the 29. So they really make a quick play, and that was Dibble again on the reception.
Yeah, and again, they do a nice job. The receivers just kind of go in there on some of those plays, and they just sit. They just try to find the best spot in the Vikings zone defense back there and just kind of sit, stay home. He makes the catch. Peel misses a tackle there. Gustus able to pick him up from the backside.
One receiver far side, 2 to the near side, split backs beside Burdick. Another high snap, hands it off to Dibble. He's taking his time and goes through, spins around and tackle about the 20-yard line. So he'll pick up about 8 or 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd and short for the Cheney Cardinals.
Yeah, another, like you said, high snap. He was barely able to corral that and get that in the breadbasket of his running back there. But Dibble, again, just kind of sizing up, using his blocks. He kind of comes out with a little bit of a slow gait until he finds the right avenue and then gets up the field.
Let Alan Samuels help you find the make, model, and budget that fits you best. View their large inventory at allsamuelshuts.com. Alan Samuels, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Come by. Let's be friends. 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Kind of a read option there. Gives it off to Dibble finally. He's going to try to get outside. Blanchett right there to take him with him. And it's going to be right close to first down yardage. Short game, but they didn't need much, and I think they'll move the chains.
Yeah, again, there's that little option look. He just rides the running back all the way to the far side. Got all the way outside of the hashes there before he finally tucked it in his belly and let him go. But it does give them a first down, and they keep moving the chains.
1st and 10, Cheney inside the red zone. Vikings now need to call on their defense. They got a Cheney leads by 1, but we need to keep him out of the end zone here with just 4:15 and counting left to go in the first half. 3 receivers near side, 2 to the far side. Burdick with an empty backfield again. He's going to tuck it and run this time himself. He's got across the 15 down to near the 10-yard line before he's tackled to spot him about the 11. We're waiting for that play to happen because with everybody spread out so far, there's no help in the middle.
Yeah, and the Vikings have been getting just shredded right now by those quick outside passes, so they're really having to be alert to that. So they're spreading their defense a little bit wider, and that does open up that interior game for Burdick to be able to get up the field. And he had a little crease there. Vikings did a nice job. Stanbar got in there to make the tackle. I think Dower came up from his corner position to help as well.
Burdick goes under center for the first time in a while. I formation behind him. Going to turn the hand it off to Wehrman. He's got some running room. He's got first down yardage before he gets pushed back. He'll get about the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Cheney now with 3:15 to go here in the first half.
A nice methodical drive here now by Cheney. I think that was their 7th play after taking over after that 3 and out and the 34-yard punt by Stanbaugh. They've been moving the ball up the field. They started at their own 43-yard line and now are sitting here at the Viking 7-yard line with a chance to take this one in with 4 downs here.
Wide receiver each way. Burdick under center. Again, I formation. And looking to pass, still dropping, going to throw it out in the flat, and it's complete. Looked like Beaker had a chance to get that one, but he just couldn't get there. And it's a touchdown pass to both. at 2:55 left to go in the half.
Yeah, nice job there. They strung it out well and were able to get him outside the pocket, but it was a nice pass by Burdick. He ends up hitting both, going over to the far side, just by the near pylon to the goal line there. It looked like Beaker had a good angle, but the ball got just over his head and just outside of him. Nice pass, nice touch, nice score by Cheney.
PAT kick attempt coming up. Kick is up. The kick is good, and our score with 2:55 left before halftime. 14 for Cheney, 6 for the Vikings. Back after this timeout.
Join the Cheney Cardinal Club today. With your membership, we help support class projects, school-sponsored trips.
We are just under 3 left in the second quarter. Reminder to our 3 kickers at halftime, right at the end of this quarter. Make your way to
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
They set the kickoff again. Dower and Autry back to receive. Cheney's kick high end over end. Dower's going to go take it and let it go out of bounds. It's going to go out of bounds inside the 20-yard line, but it'll come out to good field position for the Vikings. That's where they'll have it 1st and 10 now at 2:55 to go.
I think the Vikings are going to make them re-kick as well.
Ah, okay. Well.
So, little mind game, little chess match going on out here. So, I believe they feel like maybe they're not going to be able to kick it quite as deep, and they're going to try to get an opportunity here to get the ball a little bit further up the field. I tell you, Smoky Valley on every kickoff so far has brought up their second wave really close, especially while they're huddled up, determining the kickoff, almost as if they're anticipating a possible onside kick.
They must have shown that at least a time or two, and then they back up, like I say, when they spread out, they back up. So we'll see where it goes. So they're trying to kick off Dower and Autry about the 25-yard line. High end over end kick is going to come down to Autry about the 20, 25, trying to get outside to the 30. Trying to juke again, get outside, and he's going to get wrapped up and taken down. The Vikings lose that chess match as they get tackled inside the 30-yard line. That's where they'll have it 1st and 10 now at 2:48 to go. See if they can put some points on the board before halftime.
Yeah, you'd like to see if you can get a guy like Justice Autry a chance to get out and about and maybe make a play. And really, about a step away from picking up another 10, 15 yards. He was almost able to make it by that last defender, but he was able to get him up high around the shoulder pad and get him pulled down, so the Vikings will start at their 28-yard line. It's been a switch. Vikings were up 100 yards to 2 or 3 to get this going, and now it's the swung back. The Vikings have -3 yards since then, and Cheney has put up 98 yards.
Wide receiver each way for the Vikings. I formation behind Carson. Looking to pass, dropping back. Now it's a Statue of Liberty play, trying to get Autry outside, and he's got a little room. He's going to outrun the first tackler across the 35, 40, and out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Good run by Autry as he gets big yardage up to the 44. First down, Smoky Valley on the first play of this drive.
Yeah, we always expect at least one Statue of Liberty play, and it was executed well. They had a blitz coming from that far side, and he tucks the ball right around Justice's lap. He's able to get around the edge, had a nice block there from Cade Blanchett to help spring him, and he gets up the field, makes a nice carry for a first down.
Wide receiver and flanker to the far side for Carson, who's under center. I formation again, dropping back, still looking, rolling out down the field he goes, and it's to Pickering, and he ends up dropping the ball. It's going to be an incomplete pass, I believe.
I think he kept a hold of it.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well,
I think it came out, but I think it went right back to him while he was spinning, but I think we're going to see that flag down here, and I think it's going to be a hold on the Vikings.
Okay, we got a flag on the play. Pick up about 3 yards on the play, so he did hold on to the ball. But they'll take that one back and redo that one. They're going to go from where the hold took place. So it's going to be about a 16 or 17-yard penalty on the Vikings. Yeah, it's a big penalty, and when that hold happens so far down back in the backfield, it's a severe penalty.
Yeah, and again, after a big pickup as well, I mean, you get a little momentum on your side. It looked like they wanted to try to get a little hit up the field there on those levels again, 10, 15 yards up. Instead, they go way back, and they're going to be looking at 1st and 27 now at their own 28-yard line. If I remember correctly, the drive started right about there, so they went right back to the original spot of the drive.
Still first down. You got a long way to go. You got to get across the midfield to the 46 on the other side. I formation behind Carson. Quick slant pass out to Pickering's got it caught. Gets a little bit of yardage across the 35 up to the 36. So he hustles out to get the ball back to the official to get it set. Vikings going to try to see what they can do with 2:15 and counting. They still have all 3 of their timeouts.
Yeah, nice 8-yard pickup. He hits Pickering on a nice little 8-yard or a nice little 5-yard out pattern. Vincent's able to pick up another 2 or 3 yards after the catch, but it was a nice hit. Nice pitch and catch there from Peel to Pickering.
Second down and long for the Vikings. Wide receiver each way. Carson under center. Going to toss it out to the Meerkat, trying to get outside, trying to find a little seam to go back inside, but somebody there wrap him up. That guy by the name of Voth is always in the right place at the right time. Tackles him for about a yard gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and long for the Vikings.
Yeah, nice play there by Voth. And again, it was a toss play, trying to get him to the outside. Justice saw that there was not anything there, tried to cut back into a crease that he saw there, but that closed up quickly with the pursuit of that Cheney Cardinal defense. They were able to get on top of that, and really no gain on that play at all. Maybe a half yard.
Maybe a half yard is all. 3rd down and long for the Vikings. Ball at the 37-yard line. They're letting the play clock run down as long as they can. I think they're going to just let it run down and call timeout here. They're trying to use the clock up now. Instead of thinking about using their timeouts to save time, they're going to wait and call a timeout. We'll keep this one right here. We're going to have a couple of things to talk about here on the timeouts. We'll get a scoreboard sponsor or a scoreboard update for you in a little bit. This scoreboard update will be brought to you by McPherson Family Dental Care, your friendly hometown dentist. Online at McPhersonDental.com, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch. Also, Pile Law. Timeout brought to you by Pile Law. If you or a friend or a family member have been the victim of an accident, contact Pile Law in McPherson. At Pile Law, Tom takes the time to evaluate your options.
Mulvane up 7-6 over Bueller. That scores at the half. Ellsworth 28, Lions nothing. That's at the end of 1. Sterling 12, Medicine Lodge 0 with 1:03 left in the first. Stafford 20, St. John 6. That was with 2:49 left in the first. And at the end of 1, we had no score between Heston and Kingman. No score between Trinity Catholic and Inman either. So those are our updates at this point in time.
Southeast of Saline 6, Clay Center 0. I have as a score here.
And who does Mac have tonight?
Mac is, well, I got it here on this sheet. McPherson is at, I'll get it for you in just a second. Winfield, I think.
I think Grant Barrett's covering that game, right?
Yep.
17-0 at the half there. I think McPherson's up. Who did you say that? Winfield?
At Winfield.
At Winfield. So 17-0 over Winfield.
Yep, just found that too. 3rd and long for the Vikings. 2 receivers near side. Carson in shotgun formation. Low snap, but he picks it up. He's under pressure and gets tripped up. Tripped up by one of the guys trying to get away from the block of Richard Zeller. And now Cheney calls a timeout quickly. Number 6, I believe, that's Hill, was in there to trip up. They really sub a lot of guys in. You got the starting lineups on our sheet here, but they're subbing in a lot of guys on defense and offense.
Well, and their coach mentioned how young of a team they are. I think when I looked earlier, they had 4 seniors on their defensive core here, but they continue to bring in more and more guys all the time, continuing to sub in and get fresher bodies. And you know as well as I do, that's a strength of them if they can do that. Vikings have a lot of their guys, most of their guys go both ways right now, and so you get kind of worn out having to play defense and offense, and all of a sudden you bring in another quick player and good size, like you said before. I mean, their front line on defense, 210, 229, 236, and Wehrman's the smallest at 182, but he plays a lot bigger than 182, and just is very mobile, very agile, and same thing with all three of their linebackers. They get places, they move well, so you've just got to be alert to what they're bringing. And now they're set up in a position now with 57 seconds left to receive this punt from Smoky Valley and bring that passing offense back on the field here for a chance to score.
In pretty good field position, too. Hope Stambaugh gets a big punt away here. It looked like a lot of pressure coming from the Cardinals on the punt block attempt. Good snap, though. Pressure coming, gets the kick away, and it kicks it away. Good bounce for the Vikings. It goes way back to the 20-yard line, back to the 18, and trying to get up the near side. Here comes a flag on the play, and it's going to drop back a little farther than where it was. So good punt coverage by the Vikings. Tackled him about the 34-yard line, but the penalty will go back farther from the 20, about the 28. It'll be back to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, 42-yard punt there by Stambaugh. He kicked it from about the 36, I think is where we had the ball, and was able to get the ball all the way down to the 22 before the return, but the penalty is going to be big here and move them back.
That clock, what was it when he kicked it? It's 55.7 now.
I think they might have adjusted the clock right before
they kicked it. Did it go back over a minute?
Yeah, they moved it back up to 57. Again, that doesn't feel like very many seconds went off for the length of that punt. 55.7, so the Vikings were definitely not the beneficiary of anything on that one.
But they are going to stop it back inside the 20. It is back to the 18-yard line. Well, that's where Cheney will have it first and 10.
Well, actually, I think it's set up with minutes right now and not seconds, so I think that's part of the problem.
Two receivers each way for the Cheney Cardinal. Pass in the flat, caught. Outside goes number 15 with the catch. Yeah, we got a problem here because it's 5:51. We have to figure out what's going on with the clock. I don't know if anybody else knows that. Yeah, everybody's yelling. Now the officials have a. Yeah, I gotta straighten this out. Well, I thought it looked funny when I looked up there, and it went to 5:57, I think. So just 6 seconds ran off the clock at that point in time. Some crews have a clock on the field stopwatch, but we'll see how they sort this one out. Look at some more scores here. Rossville 7, Silver Lake. That's a war on 24 going on up there between Rossville and Silver Lake. Also, Wamego 7, Coffeyville 0, Mulvane 7, Buhler 6. Some second quarter scores for you.
I had Inman took the lead just a little bit ago, 8-0 over Trinity Catholic. That's at the half.
So as they try to sort out the time, you got some cross-country scores and some other things to talk about,
I got some cross-country results we can throw in here real fast. The boys took 4th, I believe, at their varsity tournament here at Halstead. Top finisher for the boys in 7th, Titus Reed. In 16th, Samuel Peterson. In 17th, Braden Iyer. In 58th, Caden Bishop. In 62nd, Sebastian Pavlovich, and in 74th was Eli Spooner. The girls, meanwhile, finished 3rd overall at the Halstead Cross Country Invitational on Thursday. Kira Mullen put up a PR. She finished 8th in that particular invitational. Hope Willems finished 12th. Sophia Fruits, 19th. Taylor Helton, 22nd. Adrian Lockard, 34th. Gracia Peterson, 36th. Mila Sims finished in 55th. Some JV results real fast, and not a lot of them on the boys' side. Emmanuel Cooper was in 50th, and Judah Cooper in 52nd. And on the girls' side, Esther Clark finished 3rd, while Olivia Bankston finished 5th on the JV girls' side.
They got it set at 47 seconds. I think we can all agree with that. Cheney, their quarterback, Burkett goes up and gets the ball looking deep down the field. He airs it out for the coverage. Beaker closer than an intended receiver, number 12 over there. That's Murray. But Beaker had a great coverage on him deep.
Again, another sub coming into the game who's able to just streak up the field. I tell you, if he throws that a little bit to the inside that time, he did a little stop on the outside and cut inside of the defender there. If he would have thrown that ball slightly to the inside, I think he's got a beat on that and maybe has a chance to get by Beaker.
Puts 2 receivers each way for Burdick on 3rd down and short for the Cheney Cardinal. Dropping back now, rolling near side, still rolling outside. He's going to go deep to both, and he's going to way overthrow that one. So now they got a question mark of what they're going to do. It's 4th down and 1, long one, almost 2 yards here with 35 seconds to go. If you don't get it, you set the Vikings up in short field. So my guess is that they'll punt the ball away here, but we'll see what they... I don't know the coach at all. See how daring he is here. Probably go one of those short swing passes. They're going to go for it the way it looks like. Boy, the Vikings could come up with a big stomp here. 3 receivers far side, or 2 each way for the Cheney Cardinal. Trying to get the Vikings to jump, and they could sit back there and do a great job. Now they are going to call timeout.
No call play.
He's going to drop back and kick it away. So Burdick kicks it away. It's going to wobbly short kick. It's going to hit about midfield. Going to take a Cheney roll about 1 yard, and that's where the Vikings will have it with 27 seconds left to go. So great job by the defense to get a 3 and out.
Yeah, 24-yard punt there by Burdick. And what a unique first half. Because that ball made it to the 49-yard line, neither team started in each other's territory in that entire first half. So all the drives have come from inside. They're on their own side of the 50 all throughout the half. We don't see that a lot. There was no swinging of the field like you and I talked about to start the game. They've all been good, solid, long drives. I think the shortest drive we saw there was the 57-yard drive by Cheney to put up their second score. 2
receivers this side for Carson under center, turns and looks to throw it out in the flat. Going to go deep to Blanchett, and he's got it this time inside the 25-yard line. Cade goes up and gets that one over the defender, and the Vikings have it 1st and 10 about the 23-yard line. So one play, big gain, 21 seconds still remain. Vikings still have 2 timeouts.
Yeah, beautiful play, 28-yard catch there, passing catch from Peel all the way down to Blanchett. It was a beautifully run play by the Vikings as well. I thought they did a nice job getting Blanchett from inside that slot area, and they were able to bring him out to the outside. There was a little bit of a cross with him and House, and then just like the play before when they threw it deep to him, this time he pulled it in, picked up a big yardage.
Carson looking down the middle again, going deep to Blanchett in the end zone, incomplete. Boy, he had a beautiful lead on him there. It looked like he was going to run under it, but it just got away from him. I couldn't tell if he had his hands on it or not, but it'll be 2nd down and 10 with 16 seconds left to go. Good looking play.
Beautiful viewpoint from over here, too. It was like we could just see the perfect angle, but you're right. It got caught a little bit in that dark side of the end zone over there on the far side, and it looked like he had an opportunity. It looked like it got just over the outstretched hands of the defender. He just wasn't quite able to pull it in. But again, Peel really dropped it on a line for him and made it to where he was the only player that had a chance to catch that ball.
2nd and 10 now. It's just 16 seconds. Carson rolling way outside, going in the flat. Low pass, incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down for the Vikings. We want to make sure that the Vikings didn't call timeout there. They signaled right away it was an incomplete pass, so the Vikings see what they do here on 3rd. And with just 10 seconds left to go, you really have a chance to get one more play somewhere.
Yeah, and Peel working hard there, trying to make sure he's throwing the ball in spots that only his receivers can get him. He doesn't want to throw that ball in the flat there and have a player read that and cut under it for an interception and possibly a pick 6. So he's really trying to make sure he's getting the ball to the right spot, giving his guy a chance to catch it. I expect here maybe some sort of a slant. He's got House. He's also got Blanchett on that far side with nobody in the area.
Way on the far side. He's rolling far side. Now he's going to tuck it and try to run. He's got a little seam. He's got the 10. He's at the 5. Touchdown, Carson Peel on a misdirection play. Somebody for the Vikings. House is down about the 5-yard line.
There's a flag right next to House, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but it was a heck of a contact in that defensive backfield. So interested to see. It could easily be an illegal contact down the field because Braxton was an eligible receiver on that play. But let's talk about Peel. He really had to juke and jive in there, misdirection. He turns it back to the left side, and he's able to take it all the way in because all of the offensive players moved to the far side of the field and really opened up that weak side for him to be able to take it in for the score.
We scored on a reverse, and that was almost like a reverse play. Just carried it himself because he got everybody going to the far side and then brought it back to the near side. Like you said, he kind of zigged and zagged through a little bit of traffic in there, but got to the corner, and then he had clear sailing all the way to the end zone. So touchdown if it stands.
Yeah, I think they called that an illegal contact down there of some kind on the defense because, again, he was running his route when they ended up getting tangled up and knocked down. So I think it was either illegal contact or a PI down there, but it was before the ball was passed since it wasn't passed.
So we'll sort this one out again. This is an injury timeout brought to you by the Summit. This injury report timeout is sponsored by Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation. Sports Performance. Schedule your free consultation at summitkansas.com. The Summit, together for exceptional health care. So we certainly hope that he'll be okay. Got some other scores. Frontenac 19, Columbus 0 at half. Girard 28, Prairie View 0 at half. Colgan 48, Northeast 48-0 at half. Galena over Baxter Springs 28-7 late second quarter. And Parsons 21, Riverton 7. Some scores for you there.
Yeah, some updates over here. Stafford 32, St. John 6. That's with 4:25 left in the first. Sterling up 12-7 over Medicine Lodge at the half. Excuse me, Kingman up 14-0 on Heston at the half as well.
Braxton's going to get up on his own record there with some help from Dr. Darrell Loader, who I don't know how many years he's been doing that. It's 25 or 30 years at least he's been helping on the sideline for the Vikings. Always appreciate his expertise and guidance.
And again, Vikings take over on their own 49. A running team moves the ball down the field via the pass. A big 28-yard catch by Blanchett up the left side, and then they're unable to move it on the next few plays until Peel tucks it and heads up the field on the left side, able to take it in for the score, and suddenly a game that looked like it was probably going to go into the half, 14-6. Now it's 14-12, and the Vikings have a chance here if they, on this two-point conversion, to tie it up as they go in at the half.
How long was that run of Carson's?
I had 23 yards on that one.
And he scores with 2.9 seconds left to go. So, wow, a lot of excitement here at the end of this half. And if they can go for two and get it, they could tie this game up. It's 14-12 right now. The two-point conversion is next as both teams break out from their timeouts.
We don't want to speculate here on Braxton as he comes over, but it does look more like it might be a leg injury and not a head injury. You obviously worry about contact like that when guys don't see each other real well, but maybe just got his leg tangled up in there, and hopefully he's going to be okay.
Wishbone formation for Carson on the two-point conversion try. Double tight end, what they decide to do. Got some pressure coming from them. Here comes a run from Blanchett. He's in for the score. Two-point conversion is good, and our score with 2.9 seconds left to go until halftime. 14-14. Back after this timeout.
Join the Cheney Cardinal Club today. With your membership, we help support class projects, school-sponsored trips.
Seconds to go, and then a two-point conversion ties it up at 14-all. But wow, what an exciting last couple of minutes of this half.
Cheney opens up 3 plays, 2 yards, and then turns around and drops 97, like I said, or 98. Vikings end up opening with 100 and then go backwards, and now they've turned it with 71 yards in the next score.
Kick on the ground by Heitschmidt, picking up at the lateral in the backfield, still trying to get outside, and the Vikings Boses ends up with it. Now they're going to tackle him. The ball comes loose. It goes to Cheney. They still got some options going. They're still trying to do there's another fumble on the play out backwards. It's still deep in the Vikings territory. And finally, wow. I don't know even how to call a play like that. Somebody for the Vikings is hurt here about the 40-yard line. Hopefully that's not a serious play. But the Vikings finally get the Cheney Cardinal tackled, and it is halftime. Our halftime score, 14-14. We'll be back after this timeout to wrap this one up for you. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football.
Tonight's coverage of Viking football continues next with the First Bank of Kansas halftime report. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's first half and catch you up on other scores around the area. The Smoky Valley Vikings play on Mix 96.7. If you want...
For tonight's halftime performance, the Wildfires will be dancing to Pink, topped by Olivia Ford, Haley Tobias, and Keely Friesen. The Wildfires are Lauren DeLegal, Jordan Flores, Olivia Ford, Raina Decker, Addison Ebert, Esther Clark, Tatum Reed, Tessa Repical, Haley Tobias, Keely Friesen, and Sarah McCoy.
This is At the Net Week 3 with Senior Aspen and Junior Hope. So, Aspen, what do you do outside of volleyball to bond with the team?
We sometimes go out to go eat something.
A lot of times we watch film together.
All right. What made you want to play volleyball?
Watching my cousin growing up.
I just kind of got into it like playing rec when I was little and just fell in love with it.
Aspen, who is your top influencer for volleyball and why?
Definitely my cousin, because I don't know, she's my idol.
Right.
The Texas libero Zoe Fleck is one of my biggest idols.
All right, what are your team goals and what are your own goals?
A team goal is probably better to trust someone, and then my own goal is probably to communicate with hitters better.
Team goal is to make it to state, and one of my own goals is to reach 1,000 kills and digs.
Adrian Hazelwood! Colt no cigar. And that brings up our final contestant, Kai Blanchett!
Smoky tennis. I got a couple questions for you here. So, we've had some good results since our last interview. Can you kind of summarize how the last couple tournaments have gone?
Yeah, we had a tournament against Heston. We're in Heston. We got second. Number one doubles did pretty well. Number two doubles did pretty well. I think they're looking forward. I think they're really going to have some things, some good success in league. Singles struggled a little bit, but we're getting on the right path with them. And so hopefully with league coming up this week, and some practice and we can get them going in the right direction.
Yeah, and about that, looking ahead to the league tournament this week, what do you guys need to do in Heston on Saturday to defend your league title?
We just need to play. We need to show up and play. Lena at one singles, she can get some revenge on the Pratt girl. She's going to have a tough matchup. It'll be interesting to see how hard it is. And who they play out west doesn't always it doesn't always show up. And then sometimes they come in and they are very good. So it'll be interesting to see how they are. Our doubles should be seeded one in both, so they just have to show up and play.
Yeah.
Bank of Kansas halftime report is coming up after this. Next, we'll recap tonight's first half stats.
An interception really looked like a punt. Cheney got a 3-and-out, and the Vikings got it back and were driving again. And the first quarter ended, neither team scoring in the first quarter, but Vikings scored on the second play of the second quarter on a 4th down and about 4. It did a reverse Carson Peel to Blanchett, and Blanchett took it in from the 21-yard line for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion was no good, and with 11:47 to go, the Vikings had a 6-0 lead. That ignited Cheney. They went on 2 drives. The first a 10-play, 60-yard drive, culminating in a 10-yard ditch and run. The point after kick was good. Vikings 3-and-out, and then they took it on another drive, an 8-play, 57-yard drive. The point after kick was also good, and with 2:55 left to go, it was 14-6. And then the Vikings, with a 3-and-out, punted the ball away to Cheney. They thought they were going to try to put some scores together, but with a couple incomplete passes, they ended up punting the ball to the Vikings, and it went right to the 49-yard line of the Viking territory, and they quickly took it on a 4-play, 51-yard drive, culminated in a Blanchett got the PAT. Carson Peel running it from 23 yards out. He was rolling out, looked like he was going to pass, and then tucked it and ran to the near side and got it in for the score. The point after conversion by Blanchett was good, and at 2.9 seconds to go in the half, they tied it up at 14-14. What do the stats say about the half?
Yeah, it was a very evenly played half by both teams. I thought they did a really nice job across the board. Vikings had the ball 5 times for 5 drives in that half. Cheney had 4 drives in that first half. Cheney, meanwhile, 110 yards of total offense on 23 plays. They do get 13 of 17 in the air from their quarterback, Josh Burdick. He had 98 yards for 2 scores. His best receiver in that half. He got a lot of receptions from Braden Dibble, who had 4 catches, 44 yards. Coulter McDaniel had 3 for 24. Jackson Voth 4 for 20. Hudson Ditchin 1 for 9. He had a score as well as Jackson Voth. Phoenix Fuqua also had 1 catch for 1 yard. Rushing the football that half for Cheney, they pick up 12 yards on 6 carries. 2 for 10 for Braden Dibble. Caleb Weirman had 2 carries for 1 yard, and Josh Burdick had 2 carries. He also had 1 yard as well. Meanwhile, the Vikings pick up 100 168 yards of total offense in that first half, led by the running game. Justice Autry, 6 carries, 43 yards. Cade Blanchett had 5 carries for 27 yards. He also had a score. Tristan Stambaugh, 6 carries for 24 yards. And Carson Peel, 6 carries for 19 yards, and he also had a score. That accounted for about 113 yards of total rushing offense. Meanwhile, Peel also threw the ball 10 times. He was 5 for 10 for 55 yards. He did have the 1 interception on the first drive of the game. His top receiver, Cade Blanchett, 3 grabs for 40 yards, including the big 28-yard catch late in that last drive that helped to set up that final touchdown score. Vincent Pickering also had 2 grabs for 15 yards.
How many total plays did the Vikings have?
Total plays for the Vikings in the first half, 33 compared to 23 for Cheney. Okay. Penalties in the first half, Cheney had 5 for 55, while the Vikings had 3 for 20. Of course, the Vikings had the only turnover of the half, which was that INT. Cheney had none. 2 punts for Cheney, averaged 39.5 yards. Meanwhile, 2 punts for the Vikings averaged 40.5 yards. Vikings had 11 first downs in the first half compared to 7 for Cheney. They were also 4 for 10 on third down and 1 for 1 on fourth down, whereas Cheney was 1 for 5 on third down and 1 for 1 on fourth down. Total time of possession, Vikings win that 14 minutes, 25 seconds to 9 minutes and 32 seconds for Cheney. And of course, the scoreboard has us at 14 all. Leading tacklers for Cheney tonight, Coulter McDaniel has 4.5, Hudson Ditchin has 4, Kaysen Messenger and Jackson Voth each 3.5. Colton Rohlhoff has 3. Caleb Wehrman, Carson Middleton, Drew Toller, Weston Hill, and Ty Thomas all with tackles as well. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, Cade Blanchett, the leading tackler tonight with 4 tackles. Nolan Dower and Carson Peel each with 2.5. Caleb Gustus with 1.5. Tristan Stambaugh, Austin Sharp, Justin Holt, Jackson Mock, Vincent Pickering, Braxton House, Gio Luis, and Max Beaker all have tackles as well. And like we said, 14-14 on the scoreboard due to a late score by the Vikings. Game of really 3 swings. Vikings off early, looking really solid. Then Cheney steps in, looks great. And then the Vikings get that final stop and get the ball back. 51-yard drive to tie the game up at the half. Great job.
Under a minute left to go and do a good job. I want to talk a little bit about the league standings. We don't have a real league champion in football because we don't play enough of each other, but Pratt is 3-1, Heston 3-1, Haven 3-1, Hoisington 3-1. So 4 teams tied at 3-1. Larned and the Vikings are both 2-2, and then Halstead, Nickerson, and Hillsborough are 1-3, and Mayans is 0-4 so far in football. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about, we've talked about cross country, we'll talk a little bit about tennis, and then update a little bit on your volleyball. You're listening to Viking Football. We'll be back after this timeout.
The Kansas legal team at Pyle Law is dedicated to offering clients with personal injury claims competent and compassionate service. If you or a loved one was injured in a serious accident involving a motor vehicle or a loved one suffered a wrongful death, we will inform you of your rights and walk you through the complicated process of seeking compensation for your personal injuries or loss. Call Pyle Law at 620-241-9000 to find out your options today.
Central Gas Service is your locally family-owned and operated propane company that has the knowledge and experience when it comes to propane. We offer flexible payment options, competitive pricing, and 24/7 service. Join the Central Gas family today by visiting propaneks.com. Proud supporter of local high school athletics.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field on the campus of Bethany College here, where the Vikings and the Cheney Cardinals are hooked up in a 14-14 tie. And I want to talk a little bit about your friend Vince Worthington, the tennis coach of the Vikings, and how are they doing?
And they've been doing really well. This week was primarily a JV tournament, or excuse me, a JV week, as they played Tuesday at a JV tournament at home. At number 1 singles, Caitlin Lease took first. Alice Stambaugh-Tubbs took fourth. Number 2 singles, Lillian Fulton took second. Number 1 doubles, Jill Hett and Madeline Mock took first. And in number 2 doubles, Mackenzie Helene and Jamie Bean also took first. They also took first as a team. Camille Brady and Jordan Flores also competed in exhibition matches during the day, and they played very well. Coming up this week, tomorrow, that's the end of the JV season. Hard to believe we're there already. Tomorrow, they have their CKL League tournament. That's in Heston. Play will begin at approximately 9 a.m. They'll be playing at Heston High School and also in North Newton at Bethel College. And then this upcoming Friday, or next Friday and Saturday, they'll be playing in the regional tournament that is located in Marysville. So we're already up to that time where we're hitting the league and regional time to figure out who goes to state.
Yeah, and you got a big one coming up too. It was just announced last week that we're going to be hosting the site for volleyball, and you got some quality teams coming in here, but certainly a tournament that you could win to get another berth in state.
Yeah, great opportunity for us. There's some really solid teams right now. We're sitting at the 2 spot there. Council Grove is the 1. I think they're 14-4.
Right.
We're sitting at 18-6. You've got Southeast of Saline at 14-6. I believe just behind them is Hoisington. Then you've got Heston. Then I think it's Nickerson and Lyons, and then Larned. So again, we had a good week last week, got 2 wins over Haven and Larned at Haven. This week, Tuesday, another home match.
Which we'll have on live.smokeyvalley.org.
And looking forward to that. I don't get to sit over there beside you. Hopefully I don't have to come up there and help you out a little bit. But I think you and Mike covering that one?
No, Charlene's going to help.
You and Charlene got that one. So she can let you know the things I'm not doing right out there and what we need to be doing differently. But it'll be a good matchup. Halstead has had a great season so far. They are up there. They're actually a half game ahead of us because they played one more league game than we have. So Hillsborough sitting at the top of league. And then we have Southeast of Saline coming up as the late one. So Halstead at 5, then Halstead will play Southeast at 6, and then we will play Southeast at 7. So should be a fun night. Either join us there at the high school gym here in Lindsborg, or join us on live.smokeyvalley.org and scream really loud for us. Like I said, I love coaching these girls. They've been a blast to work with this year. It's been fun coming back, and hopefully we've got the system rolling in the direction we want it to be. And the last 2 seasons under Coach Ramsey, they were able to take 2nd and 3rd at the state tournament. But I've told these girls the whole time, this is their making right now. This is their time to shine and show who they want to be. They don't have to live in the past about what happened, but they have to do what they need to do to become the team they want to become.
And they're fun to coach. I know there's a bunch of good girls who want to. I don't know all of them as well as you do, of course, but Blanchett lives in our neighborhood, and
Hope Duncan. Adrian Hazelwood.
Duncan is the one that
Timothy
lives
Scott.
Yeah,
Obviously Hope lives over by you as well.
Yeah.
But I tell you, there's just so many young ladies there. I would like to say they keep me young and old at the same time. So, but again, it's very unique when you don't coach a sport for 8 years and you come back to do it again. But they have welcomed me in with open arms and really pleased. Our JV actually has a tournament tomorrow as well. They travel to Abilene. Coach Kelsey Anderson will be taking them there. And of course, Nicole Biegert is our other coach. And Nicole's done a great job with our freshman group as well. So we're excited about that. And we only have, we were talking today, I think we have 8 practices left before some of our JV and freshman players are done for the season. So that season's culminating here pretty fast too.
Vikings will kick off. Cheney won the toss and elected to defer, so they get the second half kickoff. We're underway. Heightsmith will approach the ball. End-over-end kick on the ground, bouncing around, taking it to 15-yard line, right up the middle, 20, 25, trying to get out inside and taken down about the 28-yard line is number 15, McDaniel. And that's where Cheney will have it. 1st and 10. Last guy up off the pile, Nolan Dower and Mr. Gustus.
I thought it was really important that we put that last score in. I mean, obviously on the scoreboard it's important, but you and I commented on the fact that they seem to bring a lot of guys in, both on the defensive end as well as speedsters on the outside. I think keeping this game as close as you can keep it, especially if they're going to keep bringing in fresh players, we've got to make sure we stay right where we need to stay within striking distance.
Burkett back in that shotgun formation. One wide receiver each way. Now puts a man in motion to the far side. Handoff to McDaniel, far side. Trying to get out, or Wehrman outside, and he gets tripped up after about a yard play. Good job by the Viking, whoever got that tackle, because he had a head of steam going on that left side.
Again, they've got some quickness, and Wehrman is such a strong young man as well, fast. He's done a great job for him on the defensive end, but again, he just takes that ball, tries to get off that left side, and a good pursuit over there by the Viking defense to corral him and get him taken care of. Looked like Vincent Pickering, I think, coming off to make that tackle.
And in motion to the near side, Burkett looking back, still looking, now goes over to the far side, caught, and quickly out of bounds, but first down yardage catch by Loth across the 40 at the 42. Gustus on the coverage took him out of bounds, and it is first down Cheney on their first drive. Just underway in the second half.
I tell you, their speed is what opens up those quick little those hooks
outs, yeah.
And the outs is because you've got to respect the speed getting up the sideline, and you've got to respect the double moves. And so far, they've done a pretty good job of being able to keep him safe in the pocket. And I think Burdick did a little bit to help himself out in the first half with that little scamper he had right before their second score, opening up some space there and getting a chance to show that he can run the ball as well.
Two receivers each way, now man in motion from the far side to the near side. Burkett puts another man in motion to the near side, tosses the ball, goes on the ground, and everybody looking for it. It's picked up by Burkett, and now something happened. I don't know why they stopped the play.
They're going to call that a pass. I think they're going to call it a pass because he threw it forward. And since it's a shovel pass forward, that has to be an incomplete pass. So it's going to be called as such. So, again, it's going to amount to a lot of nothing right there other than...
I was hoping that the fumble the Vikings could recover. I thought we had a chance for it, but it ended up, the white hat man in the back threw his beanbag out. So that's a good heads up by him, realizing what's actually going on. It's just a weird play that they've called a pass now. Three receivers near side on second down and 10 for Cheney. Just underway, second quarter. Burkett, quick pass out in the flat, caught. Going to get out is Voth, and he's going to get wrapped up. Oh, he's going to break a tackle, break another tackle. Now Dower finally wraps him up and takes him down as he crosses midfield down to the 45, now down to the 40-yard line. Voth is such a strong runner. He just runs through those arm tackles.
Yeah, able to escape first. Blanchett, again, it's just a pass, almost a screen pass right over here to the side as he gets a little wedge created there with the other two wide receivers. He escaped Blanchett, then he was able to escape Pickering. Both guys looked like they had him dead to rights, and then he was finally able to get corralled by Nolan Dower, but not before he picks up a big gain and picks up a first down in Viking territory.
Empty backfield for Burkett in the backfield. Three receivers near side. Two to the far side now, both in motion to the far side. That should be a penalty. He was going forward before they snapped the ball. Caught to Dibble on the outside, and he's going to be run out of bounds by
Beaker. Was that Beaker over there, maybe?
Yeah, maybe it was Beaker. Yep, maybe it was Beaker on the... They're going to have to watch them a little bit. I hope our coaching staff will mention that to the officials, that they can't turn up field before... It's not Canadian League football. You got to go straight to the side.
Not Arena League from back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, all kinds of things. But last week we had a little bit of question mark about Andale, how quick they come to the line of scrimmage and hike the ball. They don't really get set for a full second. Now Cheney is running these play motion in the backfield and looking like they're going forward. Burkett looking back pass, scrambling, still going downfield. His receiver there, Beaker there, and it falls incomplete. Second down for the Cheney Cardinals, third down.
And that was just to give yourself a chance type play right there. Burdick just let that thing fly on second down. Beaker had great coverage. He just tried to rely on the fact that maybe his receiver, which I think on that play was number 15, if I'm not mistaken, Coulter McDaniel, he just tried to rely on his receiver to maybe make a more athletic play than Max did. But Max did a great job staying home, got a hand on the ball, got the stop.
Two receivers each way. Burkett's going to tuck it and run himself, and he's going to get tackled in the backfield. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, so it won't be a sack. But great job by the Viking front four there. And number 73,
I think 77, Justin Holt
on the tackle.
Holt made a great individual play right there. It was set up as a quarterback draw for Burdick to be able to get up through there. And instead, Holt stayed home, got an arm around him, and then gathered him up and pulled him down to make that tackle. And like you said, not a sack, but it does set up fourth and almost 5.
Three receivers near side. Burkett's going to take the snap. Now he's looking over to the sideline to see what they're going to do. Going to go ahead and run the play. It looks like one receiver far side. Dropping back, looking, going to cross it over the middle, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, and the Vikings take over. Wow. Easy play. He was wide open, Middleton, and he couldn't pull it in.
Yeah, he was wide open. They really had a nice setup there. They bring Middleton from the outside. They bring the two inside receivers all the way to the near side of the field and just create a cavern in there for him to sit. And the ball was spot on to Middleton. He just dropped it. Might have been a little to his left, but again, you pass you would normally think he would gather in. Instead, it's turnover on downs, and the Vikings get the first stop here in the second half.
Ball is going to be placed at the 35-yard line where the Vikings will start with it. So their first possession gets them to incomplete on 4th and 5. So Vikings come back out wishbone formation here. 9:39 to go in the third quarter. Carson turns and hands it off to Stambaugh right up the middle, and he'll get a couple on the play. Well, they just kind of submarine, like you said earlier. They just take his feet out from underneath him. And you mentioned when he gets a little chance, gets through that first crease, then he gets some yardage. But if they upend him, he just can't get anywhere.
Well, again, his job is to be the hammer. His job is to get in there and try to hurt some people early with his strength. And then when he gets free, then he gets into gallop mode and has a chance to really take off. But they're doing such a nice job down around the legs of working that out. He hasn't been able to break a lot of runs so far.
Blanchett gets in wing formation in motion now. I formation behind Carson, turns and hands it off to the Meerkat, trying to find a little seam. He spins out of the tackle and goes across the 40 up to the 41-yard line. Number 7 on the tackle, Sowers, keeps it from being a huge play, but the Meerkat gets about 5, and it's going to be 3rd and 3.
I'll tell you one thing I notice about Cheney, and I say this a lot about our Viking group as well, but once they get their mitts on you, they do a really nice job of finishing off that tackle. The plays when we've scored, it's basically been we've avoided the tacklers, but when they get a hold of you, they do a nice job taking the runners down.
Back to wishbone formation here on 3rd and a long 3, short 4. For the Vikings. Helmet on helmet there across that line. Here's Blanchett trying the middle, trying to get up there and get somewhere, and he's going to get tackled short of the first down. He'll get a couple maybe. It's going to be 4th and about 2, just short of the 44-yard line.
Tough spot for the Viking coaching staff now. You got 4th and 2 in your own end of the field. Yardage has been difficult to come by, but again, it looks like they're going to send in a play. And try to give ourselves a shot here. But again, sitting about just shy of the 43-yard line on Blanchett's run there. But again, it may be a situation where they try to draw him off. But the play clock already down to 10 here as they get ready to come up to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's when they scored the touchdown, and time was running out. I formation behind Carson with the flanker Blanchett to the near side. 3, 2, and I puts Blanchett in motion to the far side. Turn and hand it off to Stambaugh right up the middle. He's got first down yardage. Good strong run. Good blocking by the core of the front row. Roslyn Holt, Sharp, Zeller, and Gus Griffith doing a nice job of just moving the humanity. I said it was helmet to helmet. It just player on player, and they won the battle. First down, Vikings. Good, tough run by Stambaugh right up the middle to get that first down. Keep the chains moving. I formation behind Carson on 1st and 10, 7:25 to go here in the third quarter. Tied up 14-14. Here comes the Meerkat trying to bounce it outside. He gets a little bit of a seam and gets down right to near midfield. He'll spot him about the 49-yard line, I believe. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Very similar to the way this first half opened up. It was a lot of Viking offense, just grinding out 3 or 4 yards a carry, just continuing to move the football, sprinkling in a couple of passes. We haven't seen the pass yet here in the second half, but it was one of the things they tried to work in just to keep the Cheney defense honest. But if they can continue to pick up 4 or 5 yards per play here, you just continue to push the ball down the field.
Stay in that I formation with Blanchett, the flanker, to the near side on 2nd down and 6. Here comes the Meerkat trying to get outside. He's got a seam. He cuts it up the middle down to the 46-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and 1. Good effort by Mr. Autry.
Yeah, Justice coming off that near side here of that line and able to get just to the edge. And his cutbacks, it's probably one of the biggest strengths I've seen him develop this year, is his ability to get back to the inside. Last year, I think he really focused a lot on his speed on the edge and trying to create some space. This year, he's doing so well at being able to visualize the open seams and open gaps and getting the ball up the field as much as he can.
Back to wishbone formation on 3rd and 1 for the Vikings in Cheney territory. Long play count. Here comes Blanchett trying that left side. He's got some running room. He's across the 40. He's down near the 35-yard line. Good, nice run of about 8 or 9 yards on 3rd and 1. Move the chains again inside the 40 at the 37.
Yeah, this drive started back at the 35-yard line for Smoky Valley. Now they're already down to the 37 in Cheney territory. 7 plays so far here in this first drive after Cheney opened up with 8 plays before they ended up turning it over on downs. So solid counter drive here by Smoky Valley.
Back to wishbone formation on 1st and 10. 5:55 left to go. 3rd quarter action tied up 14-14. Here comes Stambaugh trying to get through that first seam. He does and gets across the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. So he'll pick up nearly 4 yards when he looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage.
A lot of bodies down in there. There's some tough blocking going on in there. It's definitely a physical game. And again, Stambaugh able to create some space. You know, starts out the half picking up 1 or 2 yards. Now he's picking up 3 or 4.
Yeah, wearing down that front 4 there. Got a big guy right in the middle. They play, it looks like you drew out a 4-man front, but they play 5, sometimes 6-man down.
Yeah, they keep bringing up their safeties.
Yeah. Wishbone formation on 2nd down. Here comes the Meerkat trying that left side. He goes powering in there, and he's going to get shut down pretty quickly that time. Got some help from one of the safeties, number 5 in there, ditching on the tackle as well. He kind of trying to find a seam, and he couldn't get it. No gain on the play, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, they do one of 2 things. They either bring up their 2 outside linebackers, Sowers and Ditchin, and then bring McDaniel and Toller up to kind of look like they're in a linebacker position, or they'll bring those 2 safeties all the way to the line. Again, when the Vikings are coming out almost exclusively in this half in their bone look, I think it's one of the things they're willing to come up and do is sell out a little bit.
Nolan goes wide. Here comes on the toss to Autry trying to get a corner seam. Now he cuts back and goes up forward and gets driven back. He gets across the 30 down to about the 29 where it's going to be 4th and about 2.
Yeah, I thought Justice did a really nice job there. He waited for just a second to see if one of those guys could get picked up by Stambaugh, the lead blocker. But I tell you again, that Cheney defense, they fly so quickly to the ball that even though he let the first guy get by, there was another guy waiting right behind him.
2nd and 3rd, yeah.
But Justice continued fighting. It looked like he got pushed back. Then he was able to push back forward for another yard or 2. And that's going to set up a big 4th down play here for Smoky Valley.
4th and 2 for the Vikings here. Wishbone formation on that 4th down. Carson with a long play count, trying to draw him off sides. Still ain't not going to do it. Pointing around now. He's going to call a timeout. Coach is going to call a timeout. We'll step aside as well. 3:52 left to go. 3rd quarter, 14-14. Back after this quick timeout.
Special thank you to tonight's officials, Matt Clark, Jack Harris, Lance Dixon, Toby Mooney, and Andrew Piper.
We offer courses for traditional students, grades 6 through 12, as well as adult and part-time programs. Advisors will...
Reminder that all touchdowns by the Vikings, $10 donation from the following sponsors: Touchdown Club, 350 Degrees LLC, American Legion Post 140, Ameriprise Financial Services.
Welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College. There will be Bethany football here tomorrow afternoon. Bethel College comes to town at 1 o'clock kickoff against the Bethany Swedes. But here the Vikings and the Cheney Cardinals are hooked up in a good one, 14-14. Cheney took the opening drive and went for it on a 4th down after driving for 8 plays and didn't get it. The Vikings now driving, and they have it on 4th down inside at the 29. You've got to get to the 27, so 4th down and 2. Coach Lambert decided to call a timeout here and get the play he wanted. See what they're going to do. Put your coaching hat on a minute. What are you going to do?
They've pulled some trick plays out of the bucket so far here today, but I don't know. I kind of like us maybe getting on the edge here. It's that throwback sometimes that Carson likes. They like to roll him out to against the grain, but again, they're coming out in bone, so it might be a slip or else just try to go to work.
We're going to hand it off to Blanchett, trying that left side. He's trying to get forward. He's going to have it. Good effort,
close.
Good second effort.
Really close.
Cheney's saying they didn't
I think he's
get
going
it.
to be a little short.
I think he got it. We'll see.
I think that official came walking in at the 28, and the sticks on the other side are at the 27.
They may have to measure it. Nope. They say it's going the other way. He's just short. Good eyes, Doug. He just inside. The ball's inside the 28, but not to the 27. So the Vikings turn it over on down. So turn over.
You know, Cheney had the ball for 8 plays, turned the ball over on downs at the 35 in Smoky Valley territory. Vikings turn around and go 10 plays and turn it over at the 28-yard line in Cheney territory on downs. So both teams have a chance. Both teams move the ball well to open the second half, but neither team has anything to show for it.
3 receivers to the far side for the Cardinals with the running back in the back beside Brisket. Drops back to pass, looking. Now he's coming back near side. He looks like he's going to try to tuck it and run. Now he's going to throw it deep and in and out of the hands. Good coverage by Nolan Dower.
Yeah, Dower and Middleton were really wrapped up there, engaged with one another. Both of them hand fighting a little bit. I think it was great that the officials did not throw a flag in either direction there. Looked like Middleton kind of freed up there with an opportunity to make the catch. And then at the very last second, Dower got his hand in there, was able to knock the ball away.
How do you pronounce it? Birdcut?
Perfect. Is that no Burdick? I'm sorry,
Burdick. He was the receiver was motioning for him to throw it to him, throw it deep. He said, "I think I can beat him out there," but Nolan hung right with him. Incomplete, second down and 10.
Pretty fortunate the pressure the Vikings got, because on the far side it looked like they had a receiver free up down the field.
3 receivers to that far side. Burkett's going to keep it in the flat and pass it to Voth. He's going to be wrapped up by Blanchett. See if he can bring him down, and he does. Good effort there. Pick up maybe a couple on the play, but Blanchett wasn't going to let go.
Tell you, it started with Pickering able to extend it and just kind of push the play on down the side, force him to travel side to side, and that allowed Blanchett to come up from his safety position and really put a lick on him and be at the first part of the tackle. And then got help from a host of Vikings to take him down, but it's going to set up 3rd and long here for Cheney.
3rd and long, 7 short 8 here for Cheney. Just 3 minutes left now here in the 3rd quarter. Receiver to the far side, 3 to the near side this time.
Would expect a similar play to earlier with Middleton just kind of sitting in the middle at the first down marker.
Burkett looking on the one-on-one play on the far side, caught by both on the outside. He's across the 45, first down yardage for them. If it was Beaker just respecting that speed, he just ran him downfield and stopped. And you're not good enough to double cover. I mean, maybe in the NFL you can double cover like that, but that's just a hard coverage for Beaker.
Yeah, and he just sold out. I mean, he both just put his head down, made it look like he was just taking off, and Beaker had to turn. Once he made that turn, that allowed both to be able to just stick his foot in the dirt right there, turn around and get that reception there from Burdick.
1 receiver each way. Burdick will go under center this time. I formation behind him. Toss. It's going to be reverse. Coming back to the near side with Voth. He's got his quarterback leading him. Good pressure by the Vikings to stop that one sharp. And Gus is in on the tackle. It ends up being a gain of about 4 on the play.
I got to point Dower out on that one too, because Dower came up from his corner position, was able to get around the wide receiver. If you watch that on the replay, he's actually the first one to get down, get around the blocker, and get to the legs of the defender and help sharpen those guys come in and finish that play off. A heck of a play, because that easily, if he could have gotten around that edge, it would have set up a big play there for Cheney.
Wide receiver each way for Cheney this time on 2nd down and 6. Burkett under center, turns and hands it off to run right up the middle. He's got big yardage right up the middle, across the 40 and down to about the 38. Ditchin, I think, is the carrier.
I know, I think that,
number 10.
That's one of the few times they've gone up the middle. Most of their stuff lately has been on the outside. Instead, they go right up the middle that time with Dibble, and he picks up nice yardage. Now they're into Smoky Valley territory, sitting here at the 38.
38-yard line, 1st and 10. They send 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Back to that shotgun formation for Burdick. Dropping back, looking far side, still looking. Now going to go short, caught. Side to 30 and first down yardage down to about the 26-yard line. Vikings come up with the play. Beaker and Stamba on the tackle, but not before Cheney gets enough for a first down. Boy, they run to those open spots, and then Burdick has just been pretty dead on the pass.
They always send a few guys deep. They have to keep you honest, and then Holden Murray just sits right there in the middle of that Viking zone. He hits him, and they're able to pick up first down yardage again.
1st and 10, Cheney is almost under a minute here left in the 3rd quarter. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Burdick now puts a man in motion to the near side. Going to be a pass out in the flat to Voth. He's got a little bit of a seam, but Blanchett's got a hold of him and pulls him out of bounds. Pickup of about 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, another nice little slip screen over here. They get 2 blockers out of their 2 splits, and they're able to just free some space up there as he comes in motion. And they just drop a guy back, get both guys on the edge block, allow him a chance to just break a tackle. And instead, Blanchett was able to keep a hold of him, and they don't pick up a whole lot.
Wasn't a good spot there at all. And still, you got that man in motion when he comes to the near side. He's starting forward before they snap the ball. I'm just not real happy with. I'd be bending the ear of the official to watch that. 3 receivers far side, 1 to the near side on 2nd down and 9. It's going to look like a quarterback run by Burdick, and he's going to get wrapped up. Justin Holt has a hold of him among others as he tries to cut it back up the middle. And he'll get across the 25, but just barely. It'll be 3rd and about 8.
Some question about whether or not the ball came out in there. Justin Holt has it. I think they're going to call him down. The Vikings coaching staff arguing there that he was not down. That ball came out. But I think they called his forward progress down before that.
Probably did, just across the 25-yard line. So it's 3rd and long for Cheney. They sent 3 receivers to the far side. Been their normal formation here lately. Burdick dropping back, looking that far side, still looking. He's got pressure coming, caught by both out on the flat. He's got 1st down yardage and more. Runs over a couple of would-be Viking tacklers and gets down to the 15-yard line for a 1st down. Just a tough character.
Yeah, it is, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
Our score, 14-14, Cheney driving. We'll be back with quarter number 4 after this. Timeout.
When it comes to your personal banking, it should be, well, personal. That's how we do business at the Farmer State Bank. Farmer State Bank combines personal service with the modern convenience of advanced technology. Visit any one of our locations in Napa, Lindsborg, or McPherson and see how we take service very personal.
Erickson Custom Building has a great plan and a budget suited for your needs, whether it's a new build or remodeling a kitchen, interior, exterior, insurance restoration.
Latest phones and devices and the best prices. Nick Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
Remember also you can join us on live.smokyvalley.org as well. Got viewing there from the live stream that we've got, and we've also got us connected into that as well. But just some quick updates from around the state as well from our media outlets. Ellsworth up 49-0 over Lions. Kingman 21-0 over Heston. That's the end of 3. Bueller 22, Mulvane 7. That's the Medicine Lodge 14, Sterling 12 in the 3rd.
Wide receiver each way for Burkett. He goes under center this time. Fake toss. He's going to keep it himself and try the right side. He's got some pressure coming and forcing him out of bounds were Gustus and Peel. He picks up maybe about close to 5 yards. That was a great design play. He looked like a big toss to the right side. Then he tucks it and comes back to the left side with one of his linemen leading the way. A good effort by the Vikings to make that as not as big a gain as it looked like it was going to be.
Yeah, almost a trap play. He's got a really hard toss, but he's got 2 linemen that pull to his side. And so when he pulls that back down, it's not even a naked boot. He actually had, like I said, lead blockers in front of him to give him an opportunity. Picks up a nice gain.
Wide receivers each way, I formation for Burkett. This one's coming right up the middle. The Vikings are going to swallow that one big time. Good job by the interior line stopping Dibble on that play.
And those front 4 guys, you got Pickering, Griffith, Groslin, Holt. Those guys did their job, sealed things up so the 3 linebackers, Gustus, Stanbaugh, and Sharp could come in and help finish off that play.
They actually lost a yard on the play. It's 3rd down on a long 5 now. Just underway, 4th quarter, still 14-14. Just like the 1st quarter, nobody scored to open the game. 3rd quarter, nobody scored. See what happens here on 3rd and 5 for Cheney. Wide receiver each way. Burkett's gone under center now this whole last series of downs. Dropping back to pass, looking near sides. Pass caught. Both is trying to get to the end zone. Touchdown. A touchdown for both from 10 yards out, and Cheney takes a 20-14 lead.
Yeah, nice 10-yard scoring strike from Burdick to Voth. He does such a nice job, and Voth changes direction so beautifully. Catches the ball there on a little bit of an outlook, headed toward the near side, and just plants the foot, gets around Beaker, stood up there at the goal line just a little bit, but brewed his way in, was able to get the score. So again, Cheney goes up now 20-14.
One after kick, getting ready to take place. Snap is good. Kick is up. The kick is good. And our score with 11:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Cheney 21, Smoky Valley 14. Back after this.
Cardinals 21, Vikings 14. Again, the winning ticket
Cheney's just put together a 12-play, 72-yard drive. They were driving at the end of the third quarter and then put it in early fourth quarter with 11:06 left to go in the ball game. Now they're going to kick off to the Vikings here, see what the Vikings can put together. Dower and Autry are back for the Vikings to return this kick. Vikings, like you say, have got 9 guys up within 10 yards of where they need to be, between the 40 and the 50. And when Cheney breaks out of the huddle, they end up going back to a more normal type of routine return lineup. Good crowd on hand tonight. Beautiful weather. High end over end kick. Dower's going to drift back and take it about the 10-yard line. Going to take it right up the middle himself, outside the 15, up near the 20, 25 before he's driven out of bounds about the 26-yard line. That will be where the Vikings will take it over. First and 10. And now down 7 points, 11 minutes left to go in the ball game.
I want to remind you the 5th annual Smoky Valley Music Department Mattress Fundraiser will be in effect again. That will take place on Sunday, October the 9th. Again, that's Sunday, October the 9th, so not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. It will be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Smoky Valley High School. If you want to come out and look for an opportunity to pick up a new bed, new mattress, great opportunity to come out and support the Smoky Valley Music Department.
Wide receiver each way for the Vikings. Carson under center with I formation behind him. On first and 10, Carson looks like a little exchange between the tenor and Carson. I don't know if it was fumbled or what happened, but Carson ends up with it on the ground. Second down and 10.
Yeah, and they're facing the wrong way. It's kind of hard for us to witness, but it definitely got out of there on the contact. Couldn't tell if the center took off early or if the quarterback started to leave early. But either way, that ball ended up on the carpet there for just a second. Peel had to make a quick adjustment, get on the ball, and so again, it doesn't amount to maybe a quarter of a yard gain. We'll give him a little bit.
Second down and long now. Flanker Blanchett to the far side. I formation behind Carson. Long play count, turns and hands it off. No, there's a whistle, stoppage of play. It looks like the Vikings are going to be in motion. So now we're going to get behind the sticks with a 5-yard penalty. The Vikings now mishandle a snap on first down, make it first and second long, and then a 5-yard penalty, make it second and 15. So they're not helping themselves out right now. With this, you want to always stay ahead of the sticks, like Coach Blanchett likes to say. And now we're behind the sticks.
Yeah, and again, we ended up, go back all the way to that Halstead game earlier this year when we were moving the ball very effectively. It was a penalty that ended up moving us back in that game. That really caused a lot of problem, wreaked a lot of havoc there at the end of the game. So now you're in that same situation, a fumble on the first play that amounts to no gain, and then a 5-yard penalty on your next play.
Second down and 15 here for the Vikings. 10-18 left to go, fourth quarter. Carson under center. Hands it off to Stanbaugh right up the middle. He's got a little bit of a seam, still powering his way across the 30. Here comes a flag, and I think that's going to be a face mask. I thought I saw his head turn. So they're going to get about a 8 or 9 yard gain on the play and then attack on another 5 yards. It's going to be third and about 2.
Yeah, that's a really big play there. It'll be questionable whether or not they call that a personal foul or just a regular face mask as well. But again, he's firing through there. Tristan had a nice gain to start out with.
Going to call it a 5 yard penalty, so they're going to go from the 30 or 29 up to the 34, and they got to get across the 40 or across the 35 to the 37. So it's going to be 3rd and 3 now. That's still pretty good when you were facing 2nd and 15.
Well, in essence, it just washed out the 5 yard, false start penalty.
Yeah.
So we're right back to, again, within the stick, within where we want to be. I think it'll be 3rd down, although the sticks still say 2nd.
Still say 2nd down, but I think it is 3rd down. They haven't changed it yet, though. We'll keep it at 2nd down. Wide receiver each way for the Vikings. Turn and hand it off to Stanbaugh again, trying to blast forward, and he's got first down yardage and more, nearly up to the 40-yard line. Good effort by Holt pushing his block. He had a block reminding me of the Blindside movie where Michael Orr was pushing his defender down the field. Holt was pushing his defender way down the field. So now it's inadvertent whether it was 2nd or 3rd down. The Vikings move the chains and get it up to the 39-yard line where it's 1st and 10.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point because it's just irrelevant because picked up the first down like you said. Stanbaugh ran the ball hard. Some beautiful blocking there from the lineman. The Vikings continue the drive.
Wishbone formation on 1st and 10 here. Ball at the 39-yard line. Comes Blanchett trying that left side. He gets over, runs over one of the would-be tacklers across the 40 up near the 42-yard line. So a pickup of nearly 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7.
You mentioned Holt's big block there, just like a great block on the field. The pros at H&R Block provide the help you need and the biggest possible refund. Find the tax prep option for you. H&R Block in Hutchinson, Lyons, and Ellsworth.
That was a whale of a block by Justin Holt on that play. 2nd down and normal for the Vikings here. Stay in wishbone formation, double tight end. Carson under center, turns and hands it off to Stanbaugh again, blasting his way up the middle. He'll get near to the 45-yard line where it's going to be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, again, just grinding that ball up the middle. You can tell we're just trying to either pick up yardage or set them up for something else. Again, Vikings have already pulled out the reverse already in this first half. And we've already done the Statue of Liberty as well and hit a nice deep ball out, little mesh play there to Cade Blanchett. But I think you're going to see him go back to the bone here, and I think you're going to see this be 4-down territory here with under 9 minutes left in the game.
Got a good spot across the 45. Only have to get up to the 39, or they're going to stop that play before it starts again. Another flag from the far sideline. The far sideline judge has called the Vikings for the motion a couple of times already. Coach Blanchett saying, "What are we doing?" So another false start on the Vikings, cost them another 5 yards. This time it was 3rd down and 3, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 8. So the Vikings hurt themselves again with a penalty.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if maybe our left tackle might have left a tick too early there, but boy, it was really, really close.
Really ticky-tacky there, seems like to me. I don't mind the penalty when it's really obvious, but
and
anyway.
third down's a tough down to pick up that penalty. You're trying to grind that out. You're thinking 4-down territory. You're thinking pick up 2 or 3 yards, and we get it on 4th. Now you're looking at 3rd and more like 8 here. So this is a big play. You need at least half of it here, I think.
High formation for Carson. He drops back, rolling outside. We're still rolling now. Pass out to Blanchett, and it got a little mixed up on what he was going to do there. Carson thought he was going to come back toward the inside, and he comes back toward the middle of the field. So it falls incomplete. Now it's 4th down and 8 yards, and the Vikings...
I think Coach Lambert knows they've got a punt in that situation. It's going to be a really tough go here to pick up 8 yards. Now, could possibly have a little trick up the sleeve here with a fake punt. Again, haven't seen one so far this year, but certainly a viable option depending upon the lineup that he's got on the field. But I'm sure the number one thing he told his guys, we've got to get a tackle here on this punt. Can't let the guy get free.
Both the return guy out there standing at the 30-yard line. Stanbaugh back inside his 30 on the other end. Now Coach Lambert's going to call timeout. He is upset on the sideline about something. So timeout on the field. will step aside as well. 8:15 left to go. Vikings trail 21-14. Back after this quick timeout.
Brable Specialty Meats is your full-service meat market with fresh and frozen meats along with a large supply of sauces and rubs. They carry USDA Choice or Prime, locally grown and Wagyu beef goods along with pork,
Alexander R. Brennan, if you are in attendance,
We always have a warm cup of coffee waiting, and that's what Mr. Sanders always
They've got to punt the ball away after that penalty. Coach Lambert not happy with his crews down there. His players trying to get in, and whatever was bothering him is certainly. But they're going to punt it away. It looks like Stambaugh standing back again. Oh, it's a high snap. It hits somebody, and this is going to be a disaster for the Vikings. Ball, you can't advance a fumble, I don't think. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Cheney. No, they're going to say it's a fumble. I don't know what happened.
I think we had a fake punt on. I think they were trying to snap it to the up back, Justice Autry there, and it just went right by him. It almost looked like a little bit of confusion there.
Wow.
Justice tried to get on top of it. I think Tristan was just trying to sell the fact the ball was snapped over his head and tried to set that play up, but it did not work there at all. Whatever the setup was, didn't seem to play out the way the Vikings wanted it. Instead, after having the ball up there, where were they at? The 41-yard line. It ends up being a 41-yard punt return, 41-yard fumble return for Cheney for the score.
High snap on the point after. The kick is up. The kick is no good. And our score with 8:08 left to go, it's 27-14 now. We're going to keep this one right here as the Vikings certainly decide to do a fake punt. They try to snap it to the up guy, and it goes awry, goes by him, and goes on the ground. And I wasn't sure. I guess it's a muff punt. You can't advance on a field. You can advance a fumble. And Cheney, with numbers back there after the fake, had no problem picking it up. I don't know who took it in, but a touchdown on the fake punt.
Want to jump in here again since we have a little bit of time. A scoreboard update brought to you by McPherson Dental Care, your friendly hometown dentist, online at McPhersonDentalCare.com, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch. Nickerson got the unfortunate task of having to play Andale this week. It's 94-0, and it is not over yet. Nickerson getting the rough end of Andale. Ellsworth 55-0 over Lions. Stafford 60, St. John 12, Inman 14, Trinity Catholic 0, Medicine Lodge 14, that's 21 now, Inman 21, Trinity Catholic 0, Medicine Lodge 14, Sterling 12, that's at the end of 3. Still last score we had 21-0, Kingman over Heston at the end of 3, Bueller 22, Mulvane 7, that is in the fourth quarter. So that's a little scoreboard update for you. Do you have any other scores over there as well?
I was trying to find some and I didn't. Newton 10, Arc City 7. I don't think I heard you say that one.
Nope.
Sabetha all over Riley County 21-0.
I did also see earlier, I thought there was a McPherson 24-0 over Winfield. Don't know what time was left on that one.
It's 27-14 on just bad luck for the Vikings on that, trying that fake punt. And the snap went bad and ends up in a touchdown for Cheney to take a 27-14 lead. But in what's been a great played game, what an unfortunate break for the Vikings there. Ensuing kickoff, high end over end kick is going to be taken by Dower about the 10-yard line. He drops it a little bit Now picks it up, trying to get outside. He's got a little bit of seam on the sideline, but gets up to about the 15-yard line. And that's where Smoky Valley will take it over 1st and 10 now, trailing 27-14 with just 8:02 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, definitely puts you in a tough spot. Now, similar to last week when the Vikings were down and had to throw the ball late, you see the possibility now that they may have to put the ball in the air a little bit. Wasn't necessarily a bad thing for them right before the half. They were able to pick up some nice yardage, get the ball on a nice 51-yard drive just before half to tie the game up at 14, but they just have not been able to find the end zone here in the second half. They have had only 2 drives. This will be their 3rd drive here in the second half.
I formation behind Carson with wide receiver each way, gives it off and keep it himself, trying that left side. He's got some running room across the 20 up to the 25-yard line, very close to first down yardage, but I think he'll be stopped a yard short. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, Caden Sowers, the senior, able to get the stop there, get him wrapped up around the ankles. Otherwise, I think Carson could have really gotten a big gain on that one.
2nd down and 1. Blanchett and Gower wide each way. I formation behind Carson. Carson dropping back to pass. Going to go deep to Cade down the sideline and falls incomplete. Step for step was the defender. I think that was Middleton, okay.
Yeah, Middleton had nice coverage there. He got turned around right at the right time to be able to see that pass coming in. Blanchett, again, the whole goal there, trying to use Blanchett's 6'5" frame to go up and give him an opportunity to bring that ball down, but a nice defensive play by Middleton.
Can sell out one of those on 3rd and short now. The Vikings will go back to a run game here and see if they can pick up the first down to move the chains. Blanchett goes wide to the far side. Ethan Abel, the tight end, on the near side. I formation behind Carson. Turned and handed off to Stambaugh, the first guy through, and he's going to get no gain. He's going to get stopped. He got upended there short. You'd think he would make sure he get a yard gain, but he takes it for no gain. It's going to be 4th and 1.
Well, we talked earlier about how well the Cheney front 4 are doing at just submarining and making it difficult for Tristan to get through. They really just shoot the A-gaps there and get down on the ground. The linebacker's able to come in there and tangle him up, and it does set up a 4th and short here. Big play here in this fourth quarter if the Vikings have any hope of being able to come back in this game.
Yeah, deep in their own territory. You got to get this first down. Wishbone formation, double tight behind Carson. Turns and hands it off to Stambaugh again. I'm not sure he got it. Both officials are running in from the sideline, and they don't look like they got to get to the 26-yard line. I don't think they're going to get it.
Yeah, I think
they're going to eye it a long way, and they're going to call for a measurement. Even marked. We were commenting last week on Andale how a couple of the yard lines had a little bow in them. You could see them. I mean, when they paint them themselves, that these are so straight, so true, that they're going to have to measure to see if they get this one or not. A big measurement here.
By eye, it doesn't look like he got it, just like you said. I think unless the chain gets pulled to our advantage, but it could.
Oh, it is just by.
Like I said, when it's sitting on that far side, but when he pulled the chain tight with the marker on it, he pulled it all the way back to just inside the
white line on there.
Well, yeah, just inside the 16 down there, which meant anywhere near the 26 was going to be a first down. But it wasn't by much.
And
that's Tristan Stambaugh. That's your hammer who picked up maybe a half yard on 2 plays.
I formation behind Carson rolling out. He's got pressure coming from the backside. He goes to Blanchett. He gets knocked out of bounds. He had a leap high for the ball. He couldn't get it anyway. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah,
Carson was under duress from the back.
I was getting ready to say the same thing. He was running for his life back there because he was rolling to his right and got hit. But I think they may end up calling a personal foul back there for a late hit on the quarterback.
They got a flag back there where he was, so we're going to call roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty. So they will. He got a little bit too greedy back there. Pressure coming, and he needed to let up, and he didn't. The Vikings will move the chains via the penalty now. 6:15 to go here. Vikings down by 2 scores. Makes this a tough situation to be in, but they'll keep competing here. 41-yard line is where the ball is spotted.
I think there's 2 things that make it tough. I know that Coach Lambert may have been trying to put on a little show to get the fake punt set up with his anger, but they've already used 2 timeouts in this half.
Two receivers to the far side. Carson still under center. We set the play clock and wind the game clock. Carson turning around, looking to pass, looking down, an inside cut by Blanchett. Caught. Immediately tackled up at the 48-yard line with a pickup of about 7 on the play. Second down, and we'll call it 3.
Yeah, that time Dower goes out wide and Blanchett in the slot. And Blanchett just runs a really quick slant right there. Of course, Dower getting some more reps right now at the wideout position because of the fact that Braxton House has been out since the end of the first half.
Two receivers to far side again. Carson still looking again, going to Blanchett. Boy, that defender got quick on top, but he's caught it. Blanchett with a great catch there. We went over the top of him just as the ball got there. Probably good timing, but number 2, I believe, Toller on the coverage. But the Vikings get it across midfield, just short of the 45-yard line.
Yeah, that time instead of the slant, they put him in the slot and they run a little out pattern, but it almost looked like Peel had a double clutch. I think he wanted to throw it right away, and I don't think Blanchett was quite there yet, so he had to pull it down for just a second and then reload.
Going to Blanchett again, or Pickering this time again in the middle. He had Autry and Pickering and Blanchett and Dower, all 4 receivers in the pattern that time. They're just a little bit out of the reach of Pickering. Incomplete, second down and 10.
Yeah, a little bit behind Pickering on that one as he made his break. Again, he's been pretty accurate tonight. I thought Carson's throwing has been pretty solid. He's dropped the ball in a lot of places where only his receivers can pick it up. Like I said, that one just a little bit behind. Otherwise, I think Pickering has a shot, but he was also trying to thread the needle there between about 3 Cheney Cardinal defenders.
2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side for the Vikings on second down and 10. Carson, there's a penalty as Blanchett goes in motion before the snap. So a 5-yard penalty on the Vikings. They'll back it across midfield. That'll be second down and 15 here now for the Vikings.
Ill-timed penalties in this second half have been very costly for the Vikings. They just have really struggled with that last drive. That put us behind the 8 ball there with a third down false start penalty that moved us back and forced us to have to throw the ball on third when I think we were clearly going to run the ball to set up a better play for ourselves. But we're forced to throw, then forced to try to do the fake punt. Now we're sitting here at 2nd and 15. Need to pick up some yardage here to help out your 3rd or 4th down plays.
3 receivers near side for Carson in shotgun formation. Carson rolling near side, still rolling. Going to go in the flat to Autry, and he'll pick up about 5 yards down to the 45-yard line. But that's going to set the Vikings up for a 4th and 10 here now. They got to get just shy of the 35-yard line, and the ball is going to be right placed on the 45.
Yeah, nice job there. They had levels set up. They actually brought 2 receivers to the near side, Dower and Justice coming near side. The middle guy in the slot there would have been Blanchett, and he's cutting back across the field just to try to take up some space and clear some things out.
I wondered why they spotted the ball on the far hash mark when they went out of bounds on this side, but now they bring it back over to this side. They're going to reset the play clock too. The play clock's running down out of time, but they reset it now. Carson in that shotgun formation. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Stambaugh, the back in the backfield with him. Low snap, he's going to tuck it and run, try to get some room, and he's got down to the 40-yard line, but he's not going to. I thought it was 4th down.
Yeah, just third down there.
3rd down, so Carson will get half of the distance to the line to gain.
Really good play call there. They set yourself up well. I think they saw there was an opening there with the quarterback draw. They haven't run that all game. So, again, bringing something a little new wrinkle, and they end up getting him right up the middle, able to pick up 5 and make this a much more manageable 4th and about 5.
Wide receiver to the near side, 2 to the far side. Carson goes back under center on I formation. Little quick slant, looking now, still looking now. He's going to scramble and run. He's going to go deep. And Nolan can't come up with it at the 5-yard line. It falls out of bounds, and the Vikings are going to turn it over on downs with 4:32 left to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, been a rough second half for Smoky Valley. They've had 3 drives. The first drive, turnover on downs. The second drive, fake punt that results in a 41-yard fumble return for a score for Cheney. And the third drive, 11 plays, turnover on downs. So Cheney gets the ball back. They'll take over at their own 40-yard line. The bigger issue here, Vikings trail by 13 with 4:32 left in the contest.
Yeah, getting down to the nitty-gritty now. We're going to have a major miracle happen here. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side for Cheney now on 1st and 10. Burkett's gone all the way at quarterback. He's going to tuck this one and run. He's got a little bit of room, gets across the 40 up to about the 43 or 44. See where they spot it. It'll be a pickup of about 3 or 4 on the play. 2nd down for the Cardinal.
I say if there's one thing the Cardinal has not done extremely well today, it's been run the ball.
Yeah.
Most of their yardage has come via the air, whereas they just haven't gotten a ton of yards on the ground today. I think I have them down for 37 total rushing yards so far.
And on the highlights that I saw on Max Preps, I mean, they're a passing team. There's no question about it. They send 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side, split backs on each side of Burkett in the backfield on 2nd down and 7. Snap to the quarterback of that run option play, trying to get it handed off. And good play by the Vikings, Blanchett, and then finished off by by Pickering. And pick up about 2 more. It's going to be 3rd down now and just short of 5 yards.
Yeah, Dibble on that run there. Again, kind of an option look. He just rides him in the belly there until he finally gives it to him. First play there, Blanchett stood him up, and Pickering was able to come in and finish him off. So like you said, sets up a 3rd down, a very important 3rd down for the Vikings. Need to get a stop here, need to force a punt, and hopefully get the ball back and score quickly.
No question. 3:10 in counting here on 3rd and 5 for Cheney. Burkett letting the play clock run down as long as he can. Going to drop back, looking to pass. Here comes somebody's helmet off. Passes downfield and incomplete, so it stops the clock. 4th down and 5. And Cheney, I think, for the first time tonight, might punt the ball.
Yeah, there's some contact in there to have
I think their coach is
helmet pop off.
Their coach is wondering why there's not a penalty if his helmet comes off, and it's hard telling. You can't see what goes on. We don't have a close-up camera like they do in the NFL. Big number 66. He's a big boy out there. 6'3", 274. He hustles off to the sideline. Going to be 4th down. See what Cheney's got. They've gone for it several times on 4th down, and they're going to go for it again. Well, one time they did punt.
Yeah, they did punt. He backed up in the punt
position and punted it away.
And I think that's probably what he'll do again. He's going to try to let the play clock go down, but it really doesn't matter if he does or doesn't.
Try to get the Vikings to jump off, and they don't. Burkett's going to run out, rolling out, still rolling out, and it falls incomplete. So the Vikings get a 4 and out right there.
Interesting decision. You would think maybe you would try to push that ball deep and not give Smoky Valley the ball on your side of the 50. Now they're set up here with an opportunity to take the ball over here at the 45-yard line and have a chance to go in and get a touchdown that could cut the lead in half and give yourself a chance maybe on an onside kick to get the ball back.
All right, a couple of notes here. Fourth down on a 4 and out with 2:53 left to go in the game. Now the Vikings get the ball on the 45-yard line.
That's the first time either team has taken over the ball inside the other team's territory.
Exactly. Carson is in shotgun formation. Low snap, but he picks it up. Looking out to the side, goes to Blanchett. It got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Now a flag comes in late. See what that penalty is about here. Cheney's congratulating themselves. They think they got a holding penalty on the Vikings, which probably they do. It comes from in that interior line there. So a 10-yard penalty on the Vikings will move it back across midfield. .249 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Vikings trails 27-14. Just can't get anything mustered up to go. Just everything kind of turns to mush as they try to get execution down the stretch. And this Cheney team is a good team. There's no question about that.
Oh, very good team. I just, our guys executed extremely well in the first half and even had that opening drive here of the second half after they stopped them on downs, moving the ball well, just were not able to pick up that final first down that they needed to keep the drive moving. That really could have changed the game.
2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Carson under pressure, goes down across the middle, leads the intended receiver, Autry, by too much. It'll be incomplete.
Got another flag down in the backfield, too. I think there was some contact back there. I'm not really sure if he's going to call another roughing the passer or what we've got.
We'll see. going to call a hold, another holding penalty on the Vikings. So move it back another 10 yards or 12 because they go from where the flag is. So when you're pass blocking, you're already 5 or 6 yards down the field, then you add another 10 to that. So that's almost 2 penalties for 15 yards each going the wrong direction. Yeah, Cheney, they're not exactly like Andale because they're a little bit bigger, but they're strong and they're quick. You mentioned a couple of times Wehrman, one of their defensive ends, is a really he looks like he should be on their basketball team.
He's a solid athlete, moves well, strong.
Pratt beats Hoisington 37-13. Got a final. Carson under center, going to try that running play to get it to the outside. Autry gets away from one tackler, now spins around, gets away from another, but then spun back down at the 30-yard line. It'll be second down for the Vikings. Boy, his head spun around again that time. I thought he had a face mask for sure.
Yeah, Vikings started out on the 45-yard line in Cheney territory. Now they're all the way back at their own 32 as a result of those 2 holding penalties. So moved back quickly, definitely moving in the wrong direction as the clock ticks near 2 minutes.
Second down and 38, it says on the scoreboard. Carson looking downfield, going deep to Blanchett, trying to get inside, and he's going to get intercepted. Intercepted by the defender out there who is step for step. Middleton with Cade. Cade tried to get across and pull him back and get to the ball, at least knock it down, but he wasn't able to do it. And an interception, and the Vikings turn it over on the interception with 2:05 or 2:06 left to go now. Cheney's ball, 1st and 10.
A nice effort to throw the ball up the far side of the field and give themselves an opportunity to be able to get the ball up there. I tell you, these Cheney defenders do an excellent job of keeping their head on the receiver until the very last moment, then getting their head back around and finding the ball when the receiver looks like he's going to go for it. And that's led really to both interceptions tonight. I know the first one was a tipped ball early in the game, but it was a similar type play.
Burkett will go under center now. 1st and 10. Turn and hand it off to the first guy coming through Dibble, and he's going to get tackled in the backfield. Alex Groslin ends up with a finish on the tackle. I think it was Austin Sharp who was the first one in there. Second down and about 14 now for Cheney. They're certainly going to try to run out the clock. The Vikings only have 1 timeout left to go, so Vikings are not going to be able to stop the clock more than 1 time with the timeout.
Couple other quick finals. Ellsworth over Lions 55-0. Kingman over Heston 28-0. Sylvan over Central Plains 12-6. And Russell over TMP 22-0.
I formation behind the quarterback. Burkett turns and hands it off to the front guy through. He's got some running room and big running room across midfield. It's a foot race, and Carson Peel runs him out of bounds. Ditchen was the ball carrier. A lot of contact on the line of scrimmage there. I thought we were going to get a holding call, but we didn't. And he just bursts through there and gets big yardage. What you said earlier, they didn't have many passing yards. They look like they maybe should be trying to, or rushing yards. They should be trying to rush the ball a little more.
Yeah, and again, the Vikings had to sell out a little bit on that play. I think they got a hat on a hat. You know, a little bit of discouragement there over the last interception. The fact that they are behind by 2 scores now, I think that opened it up. There's only 1:16 here. Of course, the Vikings only with 1 timeout left, so might start to see just some really quick looks here, maybe even taking a knee.
Yeah, and he does. Quarterback is going to take a knee for Cheney on that play. It's going to keep the clock running and see if the Vikings will use a timeout or not, but it really isn't going to do any good because with 40 seconds on each play clock, you have more than enough time to run the clock out. So Vikings are going to fall here in a hard-fought game, and you know you give a team like Cheney a gift touchdown on that fake punt. You know, if it'd be a 1-score game here, it'd be 21-14. It would be really a lot different the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, and again, gave it a shot. I mean, it was obviously something they practiced, something they wanted to throw out there and felt like they might be able to pick it up. And again, with Cheney's offense, the way it clicks, you get worried that if you give them the ball back with, you know, a 7-point lead, that they may get up and down the field and get another score anyway and take some time off the clock. So to no avail. It doesn't turn out the way we wanted it to. But again, a hard-fought game between both teams tonight.
Oh, no question about that. It's a tough one to lose. It's a district game, and it's hard-fought. But in the end, Cheney comes up with the victory 27-14. We'll turn it back to the station. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. You've been listening to Smoky Valley Football.
Coverage of Viking football continues next with the Viking Locker Room Show. On the way, we'll recap tonight's game, and we'll hear the post-game thoughts of head coach Tim Lambert. The Smoky Valley Vikings play on Mix 96.7.
Art Shirt Gear for Sport at 109 North Main, downtown Lindsborg, is a proud supporter of the Smoky Valley Vikings and the Bethany Sweets. Be sure to stop by before the game and check out the new apparel to show your team pride. We wish all the student athletes a safe and successful season.
Lauren Doak here to tell you about the Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School. We have everything your student needs to graduate high school completely online. Learn from Kansas State certified teachers who have experience in online learning and virtual classroom management. We also offer high school test prep, college and career readiness, credit recovery, and more. Be anywhere, learn everywhere with Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School.
Hey, it's Gabe at Midway Motors, inviting you in for our fall tire event. Right now, Midway is selling all tires at $1 over cost. That's right, $1 over cost. Check out this great special and schedule today at midwaymotors.com.
Hi, this is James with IdeaTech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Central Kansas, including all the schools that we serve. Living rural shouldn't mean you have to live with less. At IdeaTech, our goal is to bring you a fast, secure network with unlimited data right to the neck of the prairie, with the freedom to use it any way you need it. If you're not already a customer, go to ideatech.com and click on Check Availability or call 620-543-5000 to inquire about our services.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to the Viking postgame show. Don Binks along with Doug Snyder, joined by now Chris McClure as the Vikings fall to the Cheney Cardinals by the score of 27-14. But what an exciting first half. Driving the ball in the first quarter, we drove and threw an interception. Cheney was driving, no score in the first quarter. Then we got ahead on a great reverse call, and Cheney scored a couple. We tied it up before halftime. What a sensational first half for the Vikings.
Yeah, that was really a fun half. A couple of drives, not real fun for a defensive coordinator. We couldn't get him stopped on that first drive. We just couldn't tackle him.
Right.
That number one, man, that kid can run.
He's strong. We've talked about that. But you come out of the locker room then, and both teams drive the ball, turn it over on downs. Both defenses really bend but don't break, and then it sets up a drive for Cheney in the third quarter. And again, they just did some things with both that we couldn't handle.
Yeah, and we talked about him all week. We talked about him at halftime. We were trying to do some stuff to make sure that our kids knew that that's where they were going. Every time they had a big play, they went to him. When they set him on a single receiver, they were going to him. We knew it. We just didn't play it well enough.
And then you got ready, decided to go for the fake punt. What happened on the fake punt, and what was the call?
I think that half of them were waiting for the official's signal to start the play, and half of them went because about the time Ethan snapped the ball, the official blew the whistle, and I think we were just off. We should have waited until the whistle was blown to start the play, and then called it before we ran it. But yeah, that was kind of a cluster.
Yeah, kind of a gift touchdown for them, so it gives them a 2-score advantage. But then we try to get some things going. You have to kind of throw some desperation passes and can't get it going. But all in all, a great effort for the Vikings, but they fall tonight 27-14.
Yeah, and you only give up 251 yards of total offense tonight, and you out time of possession by 7 minutes. I mean, there were some really good things, just some things in the second half didn't bounce our way.
Yeah, and we knew we would have to possess it and drive the ball and keep the ball, and because they're so athletic on the edges, we were talking about how they might try to run the ball to run the clock out at the end, but their swing passes, their bubbles, those are their running plays.
Basically are, yeah.
But, our kids, the effort they gave tonight, if we can have that kind of effort every night, we'll win more than we lose.
This team beat Pratt, our next opponent. We go on the road next week to Pratt. What do you know about the Pratt Greenbacks?
They run a single wing, and they're going to be a lot of deception. They didn't play real well against Cheney. I don't think the Pratt that played against Cheney is the Pratt that we will see next Friday. Anybody know how they did against Hoisington tonight?
They were beating Hoisington relatively soundly, I think.
Hoisington's got a pretty good team, so they'll be ready for us for sure at their place.
Well, we appreciate you coming out and visiting with us. It's always a tough one to talk about, when you don't play and you don't succeed the way you want to, but the Vikings fall 27-14, and we'll certainly talk to you next week.
Thanks a lot, Donnie.
Thanks, Chris McClure of the Vikings. And again, the Vikings with some moments tonight. They had that 6-0 lead early on that reverse play that Blanchett scored on, and we didn't get the 2-point conversion, and then Cheney comes back and scores a couple of times and takes a 14-6 lead. And then with 2.9 seconds, Carson Peel runs it in on a kind of a rollout to the right, come back to the left and score with 2.9 seconds left to get the 2-point conversion to go, and it's 14-14. And then neither team scored in the third quarter, and then Cheney puts 2 on the board in the fourth quarter, one on a drive of 12 play 72-yard drive that Coach McClure said they couldn't get him stopped on, and the other one a bad touchdown recovery on a fumble on a bad snap on a fourth down fake. But all in all, like he said, the effort was just outstanding by the Vikings, but we couldn't put any points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, effort was outstanding. Again, holding Cheney to 251 yards on 51 plays, less than 5 yards per play, so very, very solid there. They were led, of course, their passing game was their bread and butter tonight. Josh Burdick was 22 of 32 for 181 yards and 3 scores. His number one receiver, Jackson Voth, had 11 grabs tonight, 87 yards and 2 scores. He's athletic, he's young, and he does some really solid things for those guys. Braden Dibble had 5 grabs for 49 yards. Coulter McDaniel, 3 for 24. Holden Murray, 1 for 11. Hudson Ditgen, 1 for 9, and that was a score as well. And Phoenix Fuqua had 1 grab for 1 yard. Meanwhile, on the ground, only putting up 70 yards on 19 carries. Weston Hill was their leading rusher. He had 1 carry for 31 yards. That was right at the end of the game. Braden Dibble, 6 for 20. Josh Burdick, 6 for 12. Jackson Voth, 1 for 4. Caleb Werman, 3 for 3. Meanwhile, the Vikings put up 267 yards of total offense on 62 plays, 4.3 yards per play. Offensively for them, passing-wise, Carson Peel was 8 for 18, 74 yards. He did throw the 2 interceptions as well. His leading receiver tonight was Cade Blanchett. He had 5 grabs for 53 yards. Vincent Pickering had 2 grabs for 15, and Justice Autry had 1 for 6. Meanwhile, on the ground, the Vikings had 193 yards on 44 carries. Justice Autry led the way with 12 carries for 66 yards. Tristan Stambaugh, 14 for 50. Cade Blanchett, 9 carries for 42 yards. He had 1 score. And Carson Peel, 9 carries for 35 yards. Penalties in the game, 7 penalties for Cheney, 75 yards. The Vikings, 8 for 55. The Vikings punted 3 times. Tristan Stambaugh averaged 27 yards per punt. Cheney, 2 punts for 39.5-yard average. Meanwhile, the Vikings held the ball for 27 minutes and 41 seconds to only 20 minutes and 19 seconds for Cheney. 15 first downs for Cheney, 18 for Smoky Valley. The Vikings were 5 of 17 on third down, 3 for 5 on fourth down. Meanwhile, Cheney 4 for 10 on third down and 1 for 3 on fourth down. Leading tacklers for Cheney, Kaysen Messenger had 7. Hudson Ditchen had 6.5. Colton Rohoff had 5.5. Caden Sowers also 5.5. Coulter McDaniel, Jackson Voth all with 5. Caleb Werman, Carson Middleton, Drew Toller all with 3. Of course, Carson Middleton had the 2 interceptions as well. And then A.J. Quick, Weston Hill, Ty Thomas, and Braden Dibble all had tackles as well. For the Vikings, Cade Blanchett led the way in the tackle category with 7 tackles. Carson Peel had 5.5. Nolan Dower with 5, Vincent Pickering 3.5, Austin Sharp with 3, Justin Holt, Caleb Gustus each with 2.5, Tristan Stambaugh, Max Beaker with 2, Jackson Mock, Braxton House, and Gio Luis each had 1 tackle as well. So again, the main score up there, 27-14. Vikings had a good statistical night, just not the night on the scoreboard. Again, the fumble return for the score on the fake punt and the 2 interceptions that stymied a couple of drives the Vikings had.
No question about that. We'll take our final timeout. When we come back, we'll have a player of the game for you, a recap of some of the scores. Vikings lose it tonight, 27-14. Back after this timeout.
More of the Viking Locker Room Show is next. Stay tuned as we name tonight's play and player of the game. Find exclusive stories highlighting Viking athletics at adastraradio.com. Mix 96.7.
Prairieland Partners has made it easy for you to shop online. Choose your equipment, pick attachments, and even apply for financing all at jdbuyonline.com. Whether you're looking for a John Deere riding lawnmower, compact utility tractor, utility vehicle, or compact construction equipment, Prairieland Partners has what you need to get the job done. Get started shopping today at jdbuyonline.com.
Delivering the right solution. Prairieland Partners.
What's better than getting a new iPhone? Also getting an Apple Watch on us with 1 month free service. You heard that right. At Next Tech Wireless, you can get an Apple Watch on us with a month of free cellular service when you buy a new iPhone. Come visit us at a location near you or call or text at 877-621-2600 for more information. Next Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
Hey, it's Gabe at Midway Motors, inviting you in for our fall tire event. Right now, Midway is selling all tires at $1 over cost. That's right, $1 over cost. Check out this great special and schedule today at midwaymotors.com.
Join the Cheney Cardinal Club today. With your membership, we help support class projects, school-sponsored trips, books, equipment, uniforms, athletic gear, and much more. Find the Cheney Cardinal Club on Facebook to register. Go Cardinals!
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings fall tonight by the score of 27-14. Time now for our play of the game and player of the game. I'm going to go with Carson Peel on the touchdown right before halftime. It was 4th down. We're running out of time almost before you have to snap the ball, and Carson fakes a run to the right side, brings it back across the green and gets it in for the score from 23 yards out. The 2-point conversion is good, and the Vikings tie it up right before halftime. Our player of the game, Doug, who do you got?
Well, tonight's player of the game is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust. Safe, sound, reliable banking that puts you first. Put their experience to work for you and your family. Relationship banking from People's Bank and Trust. We had a number of great efforts tonight. Again, Carson Peel threw the ball for 74 yards and had the long score there as well. Justice Autry ran 12 carries, 66 yards. But I think I lean toward Cade Blanchett tonight. Cade had 9 carries for 42 yards and a score. He also had 5 grabs for 53 yards. And he was the leading tackler tonight for Smoky Valley with 7 tackles. So getting it done in a lot of different categories, despite the fact we had some other guys play pretty darn well. And I think Cade Blanchett's our guy for tonight.
No question about that. The scoreboard update brought to you by McPherson Dental Care, your friendly hometown dentist, online at McPhersonDental.com, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch. Got some finals. We talked a little bit about them, but the war on 24 up there, Silver Lake gets it by a point, 22-21 over Rossville. That's probably harder to take than our 27-14 loss. Halstead all over Hillsborough tonight, 55-21. And the one you and I have been talking about, what did you have for an Andale final?
Andale beats Nickerson tonight 108-0. So tough night there. Did you say Kingman over Heston?
I did not.
Kingman defeated Heston 28-0. Let's see, Medicine Lodge 28, Sterling 12. McPherson defeats Winfield 24-0. Inman over Trinity Catholic 21-3. Bueller 22, Mulvane 7.
I think that's their first win of the year, isn't it?
Is that Inman, you mean? Or
Bueller's.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what they did last week. Obviously, I wasn't here for that. But so, again, there's some solid games tonight around the way. Ellsworth 55-0 over Lions.
37-13 Pratt over Hoisington.
Yep, got that one in there, too. Okay. Stafford 60, St. John 12. So, again, tough night for the Vikings here. Again, competed extremely well, and you mentioned Carson's touchdown right before the half. Really kind of, I thought, gave the Vikings a lot of momentum into the locker room. Mm-hmm. We got the first stop of the second half. We just turned it over on downs as well. I think that was a pivotal drive of the game, and we weren't able to take that score in and finish off that drive. Really changed things, and then a couple of penalties on some later drives that put us behind the sticks and didn't give us a chance to execute the way that Viking football likes to execute.
No question about that. Again, Bethany football coming up tomorrow afternoon right here on 96.7, and your volleyball team will be taking on a triangular on Tuesday. We'll have that for you on live.smokyvalley.org. I want to thank Mike Rose for doing that. He's got us on a camera. I don't know why he has us on a camera, but he does.
And then we've got
a lot of fun.
Some other sports around the state. Obviously, KU has a chance to go to 5-0 tomorrow with a win over Iowa State. K-State at home against Texas Tech tomorrow, of course, coming off that big win over Oklahoma. You mentioned Bethel coming to Bethany tomorrow. Is that an afternoon game?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock game. So, again, a lot of good sports, a lot of good activities. We say the reminder again. I know cross country has another one coming up next Thursday, I think. I can't remember where exactly, but then
they got one more meet at home too. I
maybe that. I don't know if look that one up.
Yeah.
But of course, tennis regionals are next week. And, of course, CKL League tomorrow.
Cross country's at Ellsworth.
Ellsworth, and that's Tuesday or Thursday?
Tuesday.
Okay. So, again, a lot of activity. Like you said, volleyball on Tuesday, cross country on Tuesday, tennis league tomorrow at Heston, and then tennis regionals next Friday and Saturday.
At Marysville. So, a lot of things going on. Well, that'll wrap it up tonight. Vikings drop it 27-14. We'll be back on the air next Friday on the road at Pratt. For Mitchell, back at the station for Doug, this is Don wishing everybody a very pleasant good night.
Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hutch are proud supporters of high school sports.